looked at you like that's not gonna be comfortable. Yeah.
It's that metal chair for about.
Yeah, that ain't
I get that ass about 30 minutes.
30 minutes, you gonna be like, hey. Welcome back to another element. It's your girl, Big Mo.
What's going on?
Big TF. Moshi.
These
Morgan
kids.
Sherm.
What the fuck?
To my left, I got Neo.com.
What's cracking, Wild Hunters?
To my right, we got Sir Rodney the Magnificent.
I'll take all that. Take it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Looking like a
First of his
ASAP
name.
Rocky member.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ASAP Mob member.
Yeah,
No, I'm not. They got.
he be managing the ASAP mob in the background. He be pointing shit around.
Yeah, you with Og, nigga. Quit lying.
Yeah,
You sound with who?
Og, the people that make their little videos and shit.
Oh no, I ain't with them either.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Ian Dior.
I ain't never even been. To
Wow,
Harlem.
you a plant.
I ain't never even been to Harlem.
You a plant.
How was y'all week?
My week was eventful. In terms of just had house guests all week. Still do.
Okay.
It's been great because it's my best friend and a new friend I made. The gentleman who is in product design.
Okay.
Yeah, we're very, very interesting skill. I was like, damn, this is interesting shit. Like he produced some like cannabis lines. He produced lube, all type of shit. Yeah,
I like that.
all type of shit. And
I
was
like that too.
You're gonna be a good person to know.
Yeah.
But he also just artsy fartsy, from the Bay, Filipino dude from the Bay. So shout out to. Eric
He makes
coming.
cannabis lube or
No.
That's
probably
good.
could.
That's good for you.
You probably could, but
Yeah.
it's like he's in
made-
product design. So no matter what it is,
I
he's
made
really
that
just
before.
about managing the thing.
I've made cannabis lube.
That sound lit though.
Oh, it is.
That sound lit.
It
But
is.
yeah, shout out to Aries.
Okay.
He had a good time in Chicago. This is his first time in Chicago. He literally got on the plane in Midway with some deep dish in his stomach. That's what he asked for.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
He said, "Oh wow!"
Well,
But no, he had a little bit of everything. He had
No.
some Harold's. They motherfucker had
Nah.
a little bit of everything. He was eating everywhere.
if you want that part of Chicago, you gotta have it.
What that Giordano?
Yeah, you gotta have it.
Oh, no, that shit good, just not every day.
Day.
Yeah, it was big.
Like once a quarter.
Exactly. So it's just creating that shit. What about you, Neo?
Yesterday, whatever, was the equinox, so I had me a nice session last night.
Okay.
I'm still kind of wavy from that. What else is going on? Oh, so I learned a trick with mixing this week.
Okay.
And it's real simple. The easiest way I can explain it is where the camera. So I was watching Young Guru, and he was explaining about gain staging and all that.
Shouts to Guru.
And the thing that's important is
Turn me up.
when you mix, you want to mix down. So you want to get your sound to about 0 VU. That's when 0 VU, and everything else just pull it down. So you don't push the levels up. You pull the levels down. You set your level and then pull everything down instead of going up. And then so you mix down so that you could master up. So if you a mixer and you know anything about engineering, it's a very simple concept. You mix down from 0 VU and you master up to 0 dB. And you do that, I guarantee your mixes is going to come out crisper with more clarity, sound 10,000 times better. Nobody ever told you mix down. Mix down, master up. So I learned that this weekend.
Wow.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah, that's actually really fly. And
That's real informative.
I'm sitting here like, damn, yo, nobody taught me that.
And I'm
working in
just thinking
radio
about
for 10 years.
And I'm just thinking about how how mixed down is the
terminology.
is the terminology when you saving files anyway.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
such and such mixed down.
Because it's two different levels. So, like, analog uses the VU system. So, when you see, like, the studio and they got that little line moving back and forth, that's VU. So, you want to mix for VU. but you want to master for dB.
Yeah.
0 dB. So you want to mix and get it as close to 0 VU as possible, or average 0 VU. And then after that, so you get your mix to that, you'll never need any plugins on your master because you're going to mix real low. But you get that sounding right, then you master up to 0 dB. The signal to noise ratio is amazing. Everything is crystal clear. So yeah, shout out to Guru.
That sounds like something good for folks who don't got a lot of shit too. Like if they don't have all the mastery ass equipment.
Yeah.
Like this is something that you can do no matter
what
level you on.
I mean, that's a skill. That's a tangible skill that people can learn, and they can use that with any DAW.
Exactly.
You know, with any DAW.
Any DAW, anything. So even if you're doing pods or whatever, set it to 0 VU. Get you a VU meter if you have to, but mix everything to 0 VU, and then once you get that right, when you add your plugins, you want to take your plugins to get you from 0 VU to 0 dB. So, but mix only to 0 VU, and then don't put no bus compressor, no nothing on the actual master bus until you get everything right. Then once you get everything at 0 VU, when you turn on your master chain, now you're trying to get to 0 dB. If you do it that way, I guarantee you it's going to sound 10 times clearer. So you don't know what it is, it's called gain staging. VU meters is the difference between VU meters and decibels, the difference between analog and digital. So you mix in analog, you master in digital, everything will be 10 times better.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I think my mind is just fascinated, as I was telling Rodney before the show started. Like, yesterday, I had to go to a beauty salon. I had to go to a beauty salon because my homegirl from college, she's been the one doing my hair. She has like a private boutique. Now, she was unavailable all week, and I was like, yo, I need to get my hair done. So I had to like go look through reviews. I'm hitting people. Somebody was like, yo, I'm in transition. Can I come to your house and do it? I'm like, no, my grandmother, the immunocompromised, you're not coming in my place. So find somebody else. I found a girl. She was in a beauty salon. So I was like, okay. I set my appointment for 3:00. I got to the beauty salon. I did not get in the chair until 6. I did not realize that there was carryover. You know, I'm used to that in the barbershop where, you know, you go
3
in.
hours?
Yeah, it was like
just
2-3 hours just to get in the chair.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Nah, but it's necessary, and I'm gonna be honest. She was great, and I'm gonna be honest. I really did enjoy just the atmosphere. I didn't realize how much I missed the atmosphere.
People?
Yeah, or even just, you know, being in the atmosphere. Like a beauty salon got a different type of vibe to it than a barbershop.
Yeah.
Now there was a barber in there.
Okay.
Also,
But no, it's a completely different. You know, shout out to my sisters, Dorian and Michelle.
Dead ass. Yeah.
So I know what you're talking
And
about.
Doreen knows her, so I'm.
Small world.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, they know everybody.
Yeah, I was
Say they got Hong Kongs in their house.
Yeah, they know everybody.
But no, actually, and I think this is interesting with the beauty shop. Now, you know, there's so many dread niggas out here. It was a nigga in there getting his dreads twisted.
Yeah.
And he basically, like, ran the place, to be honest. Like,
I'm
because he
sure.
came in and made sure that he got his lieutenants, you know, his lieutenant needed his hair touched up.
Oh, that's.
You heard me.
The lieutenant.
Yeah, he had his lieutenant, man. Then he had his other lieutenant. He paid for all of their hair. It was one dude over there doing all their hair, and he just cashed out, dude, like for everybody. And then
That's beautiful.
he left.
That's good. Barbers got cash out.
But yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, 'cause
And I'm
you've
glad
been
we
in that for a
actually
long
starting
time.
to get some sort of gang leaders again.
Yes.
You know, because this shit been starting to look like fucking Peter Pan and the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got gang.
Just everybody being renegades.
Yeah, everybody renegades and outlaws.
Nah,
Like,
I was sitting there and I was impressed. I was
Yeah,
like, yo,
I like-
he got everything moving.
I like law and order.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yo,
Law
he
and
the-
order is a good thing.
He the loudest person in here, you know. People seem to really.
Everybody know who the power is.
Everybody know that he the power person, you know.
It's good. I like that when people create
Yeah.
gravity.
I was like, yo, this is amazing. I'm gonna be honest, it actually also made me a little concerned because I was like, yo, I'm intrigued. Like, this kind of turned me on. Is this what I'm looking for?
No, it's just what I'm looking for, Morgan.
No.
The Thigh Girl Summer. I gotta get.
If
gotta
you
get
ain't
to
learned nothing from whatever.
No, it's just Icy Girl. Something I heard.
Icy girl? What's that?
it. He was making a joke. About, he's making a joke, you
Oh,
know.
I was about to.
The joke is, we're not gonna even mention that all show. We're gonna stay.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Another-
good. That's good. That keep the joke.
I'm gonna stay in another direction.
That keep the joke.
So I actually wanted to throw it to you, Neo, because you was I know that I didn't catch Verzuz yesterday.
Okay.
Now, no, Rodney didn't catch Verzuz yesterday. True was talking about it.
Yeah.
What did you think of it? Raekwon and Ghostface. Hold on, before I even continue, shouting out to this group Therapy. I found them out this morning. They shit fire,
Why
man.
the fuck is you eating my flaming hot funyuns, my guy? That's not for cats.
It's gonna be for that
You
cat.
got a real black cat.
Yeah, you got a black cat.
You got a real black cat. He's like, oh, he got the
This nigga
joints.
trying to eat some flaming hot funyuns.
Yo, he
Flaming
said
hot
he need
funyuns in
that.
my shits. I ain't
me
had
that.
these since 78.
Give me that. Nah, but group Therapy, it's a real fly group. I found out, when I was doing some musical research.
Okay.
Going over the verses though. Let's cut them down. Let's get in the verses. Raekwon, Ghostface. They did it up.
Yeah. It was very. First of all, shout out to Swiss and Tim, Verzuz and Trilla. I've been hearing a lot of misinformed people talk about these recent deals, talking about people sold out. It's the difference between selling out and buying in. When you swap for stock, you did not sell out. You bought in and are now an owner of this company. Selling out is simply taking cash. They did not take cash. They took equity. So they went from being owners of their company to now being part owners of a larger company. This is how billionaires become billionaires. So anybody who say you sold out, that's silly. You bought in. It's a difference. So they bought into Triller. They did not sell out. So shout out to them. When I saw the Ghost and Ray, what it made me think about is, if you haven't seen their Hulu show,
I think it's Wu-Tang and American Saga.
Wu-Tang and American Saga, I think a lot of people don't realize, because a lot of these celebrities or legends have become so legendary, we forget where they started from. And Ghost and Ray,
That first scene.
used to be, they ops. They was ops. They was from the opposite projects, and they was shooting at each other. And people forget somehow that Wu-Tang, Jay-Z, these names become so big and synonymous with so many different things that they forget that these are project drug dealers and gangbangers who rap. And when I saw it, it kind of reminded me of what just happened in Chicago, or what's been happening with I was looking at it out of town. People don't realize that O Block and Gyro City 3 blocks away from each other. It's King Drive in St. Lawrence. It's King Drive in Eberhard. It's 64th and 62nd.
Yeah.
That's about the difference between Park Hill and Stapleton. It may be a little bit further, but they around the corner.
Yes, that now ain't that big.
It's not that big. So
Especially where the black folks stay.
yeah, it's teeny tiny. So it kind of made me sad. It made me happy to see that they were able to balance that out, because after watching Wu-Tang and American Story, I was really like, oh, y'all really used to shoot at each other and was trying to kill each other, and now y'all just having this giant love fest for each other. And a person who they thought was ops and the enemy turned out to be the perfect counterpart. And when I thought about that, and I thought about how much that's not going to happen ever with the Chicago drill scene,
Yep. Because people not even here.
they're not here to
anymore.
even come to the realization that
We could work together.
we could work together. They didn't, because I'm sure one group, they all, like I was watching that stuff, man, they all went to fucking Hyde Park High School, basically. They all went to high school with each other. You could literally see pictures of them walking through the hallway, like standing next to each other. So the Ray and Ghost was beautiful because it just felt good to see hip hop buy in and everybody get stock. Like they was like, oh, y'all just performing for free. No, you're not performing for free. Now you get stock in the company. Same thing Jay-Z did with Square. So it made me happy to see that after watching the Wu-Tang movie. And if you didn't watch the Wu-Tang movie, like maybe a lot of people from this generation, they don't realize that this story is the same as the Lil Wayne story. It's the same as the Jay-Z story. They was people but by the time y'all might have came in contact with them, they was already so big that there was a disconnect between their origin story. So when I watched the Wu-Tang American Drama and then I saw it touched my heart. But then it made me realize how much this shit's not gonna happen.
Not here.
Not here. And it also made me realize we went from a generation of people that was talking about drug dealers. It went from drug dealer rap to killer rap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you drug dealing, you can't have too much killing and shooting on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't sell drugs. It's too hot. It's too hot. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it made me really think about, A, shout out to them. I'm glad that they was able, that example exists and they got that documented. B, it made me sad that that's not going to ever happen here because these people are just not here anymore. And C, it made me realize how the culture went from drug dealer rap to killer rap.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if I had to choose,
I would rather the drug dealer
I
rap.
would rather the drug dealer rap because at least it's setting, like, you can't have all this wild random killing and shooting and endless retaliation if you actually want to run a business.
Yep.
And I'm seeing the difference because I didn't know a lot of this Chicago stuff, so I got pulled into a YouTube rabbit hole and I'm listening to him rap and I'm like, you could kind of rap and you could kind of rap, but they was going at it with each other. I'm like, if y'all just get together, or this group might have the best rappers, but this group had the best producers.
Yeah.
If y'all just got together, or better yet, if you just stop shooting at each other 3 blocks from each other, you could serve fiends. And then if you serve the fiends, you can have money. Then if you got money, you don't need to be over here shoot. Like, it opened my mind up to a rabbit hole of just where culture started and where we at now. And I'm not saying drug dealing and all that is what's cool, what's popping. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I see how the culture shifted.
Yeah.
And I want to shift from something better to that, but this whole endless killer retaliation rap, them men and girls, the shorty who passed too, the young lady, they missed the opportunity to tour the world, make millions, change their family. And at the end, before I ended, what blew my mind is they was saying stuff like, man, you're not really a man or you're not an adult unless you take care of the elderly. You know, listen to your elders. Like, I'm like, these people used to shoot at each other and smoke crack. Like, Raekwon literally raps about smoking crack. For cracks and weed, the combination made my eyes bleed. And now, 20 years later, they rich, they best friends, and they saying, respect the elderly. You know, you don't know the changes in growth and development that people can have. And we be so focused on snuffing shit out that you don't even get a chance to see what it could have evolved into. Yeah. So when I saw that, it made me think like, damn, people who was ops literally might secretly be best friends. And on one level might be the key to unlocking the life of your fucking dreams. But you won't find that if you shooting at this motherfucker.
Come on, yo.
So, yeah, I ain't gonna get it. But that Verzuz, it made me sad, made me happy. But when I realized that that's, like, where we at? We on 69th. And I was looking at the map of where these places was. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's right there.
That's right. Fucking.
That's 3 blocks
there.
away.
Right.
Wait a minute. They all went to Hyde Park. Wait a minute. These niggas probably all hang out at fucking Jackson Park. They all went to school. They was in division together. Holy shit.
That's wild.
Yeah.
They probably knew who had the beats and who had the rhymes by sophomore year.
Fucking the same girl.
Fucking the same. That's probably what really.
I mean, that is at the. That might be the underlying.
If we blocks away from each other, that means we in the same neighborhood.
We in the
neighborhood.
That can be at the crux of a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Keisha and Felicia down the street.
Yeah.
I do think though. I think that it was really important talking about how, like, I was unaware when all of that first started. When Keith and them first started, I just remember gravitating to it because I was like, yo, this music we could put on the radio.
Right.
Then all of a sudden we see stuff, and I remember sitting there feeling complicit one day. I'm like, yo, we playing this
What am I co-signing?
Shit.
Right.
Yeah. And this nigga's talking about, like, he literally shouting out the ops in the record. Like,
Yeah. And, you know, I looked at it, to be honest, this is what hip hop has always been about. Mm-hmm. I just think that this is the first time gangs got involved. Normally it's crews. You know what I'm saying? Like, in crews and gangs is different. You diss a crew, you're dissing those 8 guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dissing you 5 motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. When you start bringing organizations into the situation, it's a complete, because you might say XYK, whatever. But you might not even be saying really XYK.
Yeah.
You might be talking about this specific group of motherfuckers right here. But when you say XYK, whatever them 2 letters that go first before.
Yeah.
You're not just talking about these 8 motherfuckers. You're talking about 10,000 motherfuckers.
And now you got all of them on your head.
Nationwide.
Yeah, and that's just 10,000 in the city.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about 10,000 in the city on your ass. Mm-hmm. Like, when you look at New York or like Atlanta rappers when they used to beef, it might have been lately some gang things involved, but mostly it's been crew things involved. Mm-hmm. When these people start throwing the XYK and all that stuff into it, it got out of control.
Yep.
You don't have to diss the nation. You don't have to diss the whole mob. You can diss this clique, this set, this person. And I think that's where they fucked up. Had they just dissed the person.
Yeah.
Had they just dissed the clique. Had they not made it about the nations and the mobs, it might have worked out for them. Cause that's what you do. That's how 50 Cent got on. You come in, you diss a couple people, talk a little shit. That's how the game got on. You know what I'm saying? That's what people do. They come in, talk a little shit. It's just normally they might be like, hey, fuck Nas. You know what I'm saying? Or fuck Jay-Z. Never said fuck the mob.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You don't say fuck Marcy. You don't say fuck the bridge. You don't say fuck Compton. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't do that. You say fuck you specifically. Like, you and your mother. You 2 motherfuckers. And it's just sad that they start making it about the nation. And that's why I think that's where I think they fucked up. That's where I think they fucked up.
Rodney, is it like that down there? I know you was in Tennessee.
It's funny. I was literally just telling y'all about this yesterday. Just talking about, it was in general conversation about just how I noticed, and you schooled me on this whole connection between the founding of Hollywood and how similar it is to Chicago. But gang culture in Chicago is so synonymous with just black culture in general. Like, it's not even like it's one of them things where it's polarized. It's literally just a part of it. It's like, my mom was a part of this. My daddy was a part of this.
Everybody got a cousin.
Yeah, so everybody got this. It's way more, it feels a lot more segmented in the South because of what they show you and what they don't. Like, you could really sit there and have your whole ass daddy being a whole whatever. And he might not ever show you nothing. He might not ever let you in. Yeah. He might not ever do none of those things. But he the biggest motherfucker on the hill.
That makes sense.
And you don't know it until something go down.
Till you old and
because you
pull
just
your coattail.
Because if you raise a child up to believe they just got a bunch of uncles, and folks protective and folks they always make money, they take care of the neighborhood, they do whatever. People outside looking in, the older and older you get, you might figure that out. But as you young, that's where because you think about it here. They start young. Right. It's youth. Like, you understand what it is at a youth. Yeah. So you either gonna lean into that and get into it yourself, or just have an understanding and know where your square is when you're an adult. When you're young in the South, you got your situation, but everybody not gonna be a part of this. The people gonna be a part of this are gonna be the people who need to be the part of this. No. It ain't gonna be a situation of where it's universal and it's synonymous with everything.
Growing up, and I'm a little older, so like I'm 80s baby child of the 90s, but you hit 12 to 15, it was just like basically hitting the yard at college. Like, so you want to be a Kappa, you want to be Alpha.
Damn,
it's just like hitting the yard. Like, you pull up, all right, so what you want to be? Zeta.
Yeah.
What you want to be? And that's why I never really joined the fraternity, because when I showed up, I'm like,
Look at this gang shit.
nigga, this gang shit, motherfucker. If I was gonna do this shit, I'd have did this at Thule Park in 1993, nigga. Like, I didn't skip this shit.
Thule Park.
I didn't skip this shit to join this shit. Like,
Yeah.
But no, like, it's really it's a youth culture.
Yeah.
And between most of the killers that I've ever known was between 12 and 18.
Damn.
Most of the body snatchers that I knew. So high school was treacherous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you had to navigate that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you fucked around and went to a local school, you was with the element.
Yeah.
And, like, people, like, all that Chirac shit, that happened when we was at 400 murders.
Yeah.
When I was a freshman in high school, we had 1,200 murders.
Mm-hmm.
400 ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas was dropping 3 bodies a day.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, and it was mostly children. It's mostly people your age. Like, you 12, we playing, like, football for the park league, and then next thing you know, a nigga show up, he 13 and he got new Jordans on, and this motherfucker got a little 22 or something like that, and nigga got Nintendo games stacked to the ceiling, and we in 7th grade together. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then, like, sophomore year, niggas done shot up a couple people's houses, now they got cars.
Yeah.
So, like, you sophomore and junior, and you on the bus, and this nigga got a car.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker got money.
And also,
This motherfucker got bitches, a reputation.
yeah.
No curfew.
And a particular point to make, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, when you think about just the foundations of all these different organizations, like what is the quote unquote Southern founded gang that is now nationwide?
Which one is that?
That's what I'm asking.
It ain't.
While when I was back home growing up, yeah, it was niggas who were Crips. It was niggas who claimed GDs. It was niggas who claimed all these other things. But those were things that were more derivative than we made this shit up. It wasn't like, and obviously you have folks in certain neighborhoods. Stuff like, neighborhood shit gonna happen everywhere. But in terms of like organization in that way, that wasn't something that was widespread, because the culture was more so you was leaning into sports. You was leaning into all these other things.
You know what? I'm kind of
youth, at least.
Nah, youth here. Well, you did that, but between 12 and 15,
Yeah.
there was a decision to be made.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm a little bit older, so I'm talking about when it was still law and order, when it was still paying your dues, when it was still spitting your
No,
lit.
I
When
saw
it was
some of that. I
still
was
10
on
to
the
the face,
tail
no
end of that.
cover
Like,
up. When it what gangbanging was in the 90s and what it is now
Two different things.
is because early 2000s, they tore down all the projects. They arrested all the leaders. And then for the next 10 years, anybody who stood up into a position of leadership got thrown in the feds and got football numbers thrown at them. So when they tore down the projects, everybody who lived in those projects had to move around. So like when they tore down IW, like you go over to Bronzeville now. The reason why Bronzeville nice is because they tore down IW Wells in Newtown. That's IW Wells is what Mariano's is.
Yeah.
That was the biggest project in the city.
Damn.
It went from basically 35th to 39th, from King Drive to Lake Park. It's 2 or 3 of them, but it was huge projects. That's why the shit was so fucked up. And then on State Street, they had high rises from 22nd to about 55th.
Damn.
Like 20 stories, 3 buildings on each block, making little things.
Golly, how many thousands of people
That's
is
why
that?
when you go down State Street, ain't nothing but vacant lots.
Yeah.
Each one of them vacant lots was 20-story projects, like
Oh, that's
Brooklyn,
crazy.
like look like Marcy, some shit like that. And then
That's thousands of people.
on a block. And then like the easiest way I can explain why IDB Wells was like Queensbridge or something like that.
Okay.
Right? So half of it was GD, half of it's BD or whatever. They tear all that shit down. Well, all right, the BDs got to go somewhere, but they can only kind of move to a BD hood.
Exactly.
So what you see, a lot of the O Block and all that stuff, a lot of them was some BDs from 39th that had to move on down to 63rd. And a lot of GDs from 39th had to move around. So but when they showed up in these hoods, they wasn't from these hoods.
So the people who was already there didn't like them.
The people who was already there didn't know them.
Ah.
I don't know you. And it's a difference between a nigga from a project and a nigga from the block. 2 different types of motherfuckers. Nigga from the projects ain't never had grass. Nigga had never had to take out the trash before. It's just a different type, it's just burn it, just incinerator.
Yeah.
So they never had lawns. They never had to maintain anything in their life. If you gang banging on the block, that's still grandma's house.
Yeah.
That's grandma's house.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So now they start moving all these people in Section 8. And they send them in, so then the gangs start fracturing. Cause you GD, I'm GD, or you BD, I'm BD, but
I'm from 6
I'm from here.
And you really from there.
You're from there, and what you think I'm gonna let you serve on my block? Mm-hmm. I don't let them niggas serve over here. Why would I let you serve over here?
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 10 years, the shit dissolve. And the big drug dealers is gone. Them niggas done moved all out to Hazel Crest and Olympia Fields and shit like that. And they just drop off their loads and keep it moving. And now you just got 3 generations of people who never really learned about law and order, never learned how to set up a dope line. They just shooters. And shooters done train shooters.
For a good decade.
Yeah, a good decade. But nobody ever came in. I remember... And we could get off of this, but I remember when the Rosenwall was up. It's like, you ever seen New Jack City?
Mm-hmm.
The Carter.
Yeah.
That's the Rosenwall.
Okay.
The building was a square block. Block long, block wide.
Damn. It's a big building.
And it was the dope house. My mom is on 47th Street. Well, now it's nice. But when I was a child, it was a dope house. The line at the Rosenwall, was that Indiana, Michigan, which one, would be from 47th to 43rd, no, to 45th, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's the dope line. Straight line going down the block. That's how much, and when I say, I'm talking 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, they had 100, 200 people lined up every day. That's the generation that I grew up in. The people who can maintain that, order it, ain't nobody gonna come and shoot this shit up. Nah, we moving it. Them motherfuckers got arrested. The people underneath them got arrested. Everybody moved to fucking Minneapolis and Milwaukee and the suburbs, and it's just outlaws.
Theodore.
He got to make his presence felt. But
I
yeah,
hear you trying to talk.
but no. So that's, when I look at all this, it's just interesting to see how this shit.
Yeah, that is interesting. But no, it's definitely different. But I think that's a big part of it, though. Like, culturally, it's not even something that wasn't even able to be embedded because there was so many other things that define Southern culture.
Yeah.
In terms of
And y'all not super packed on top of each other.
We're not packed on top of each other. Motherfuckers got their own lane, and you could just really be oblivious to shit. Like, I think that people have the, I guess, almost a privilege to be oblivious to the shit that the real.
You could you could drive past it.
Yeah,
and I would even say this, like, to your point, talking about the sports part, like, yeah, niggas play sports and shit here, but the reality is, you have like football factories in Texas, in Georgia, in these places, because instead of them being on the block, you feel me? Like, instead of them being in Hayes Park, they fucking saying, yo, I'm putting you
and
on
they
the
could work out year round.
And you gotta think about the roles that a lot of these people play. Like, you got folks, if you from, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida, the role that you playing within these particular underworlds is you play a pretty particular role, so you don't need too many people involved in this anyway.
Right.
Especially if you talking about being next to these ports and shit, and being next to these like these types of situations. It's like all these niggas from New York and all this shit, they gonna come to me anyway. I don't need 100 people a part of my organization. I need a solid 50. and it's what's the shit called? Blockchain. Almost. The niggas who know something, they know as much as they need to know, so on and so forth. That's why it's so easy for shit to be oblivious.
Nah, like, like my zip code, I looked it up. It's 100,000 people in this zip code.
And just this one.
Zip code.
Damn.
Zip code.
That's
and in 49 states out of this country, 100,000 people is a city.
Yeah.
It's 80,000 in my hometown.
You go to 100,000. You say you 100,000 people. People like, this a city.
Nah, nigga, just the zip code.
This is zip code.
Just the zip code. And it's like that in multiple zip codes here. So, and I think to close that out, like, on the back end of the gang shit, right? Like, I was in high school at the top of the 2000s.
Yeah.
And so I remember when a lot of the niggas that I was in school with they started bleeding out or becoming part of something. Like my mom, she was very particular and very strict, but I would still get off the bus early so I could hang with some folks who went to Bogan.
Oh, you was risking it all.
Exactly. I was risking it all. Here go the thing.
You coming from 111
Yeah.
and on the hill and then going over the round Bogan?
Yeah. And then, like, here go the
Wow.
thing. My name carried weight because me and my cousins had the same last name, and we had we had an uncle who was doing some stuff.
Okay.
So my name carried some weight. So
Like,
I
don't
was
fuck-
able to
don't fuck
navigate, but I was that oblivious kid at the time. I was oblivious to a point.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have to officially join something.
Right.
You know? I was just able to exist.
And so y'all more so the exceptions than
Yeah.
than the rule.
Well, yeah, kind of the same way.
Like as in like
I
y'all
have
didn't have to join.
Nah,
something
well,
to
you
make,
could
to live y'all life.
I could have. The thing that saved me is I had some family members that was ranked,
Okay.
and basically, they like that ain't me. So even if I wanted to do some stupid stuff in the hood, maybe the lieutenant or something, the mid-range person didn't know. But once they bumped it up to whoever was next ahead of that,
Come on. They was like, hell no,
Hell
not them.
not
Not them.
him.
Tell him to
Not,
take his ass home.
not him. And the
Yeah.
other good thing about it is, I don't mind is the devil's workshop.
Yeah.
You know, I had most people I know who get involved in shit like that.
They don't have activities. They ain't shit. Like, my thing is, my mama, she made sure. Like, I remember from my freshman year, from right before my freshman year of high school, through high school, she made sure that I was occupied anytime that we was out of school. And that was necessary because, like, I remember one time she noticed it. I was in, like, 7th grade. We had just moved into this house on the block. Nigga, it was like 13 niggas just sitting out on the porch. She saw that. She said, fuck that. This ain't about to happen. Not with you. Because niggas hanging around.
Yeah, that ain't no good. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing with me. I was either on punishment or I was active. And because I was, like, known for being like smart, I was like a mathlete, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know how like athletes kind of get a pass a little bit in the hood.
Yeah.
Well, I was not athletic, but I say I was like a mathlete in the hood. Well, like, nigga, like shit, freshman year of high school, I'm in Corliss and shit on the 103rd, but like I win a gold medal in the academic decathlon. First person done ever won a gold medal in the academic decathlon in Corliss history. Some shit like that. So like I won a science fair. So even though I'm at a school with straight killers, everybody knows me as the guy who reads comic books in school. This was my if anybody really went to school with me, this is my reputation. I brought the best comic books to school, and had decent grades, but slept in class all day. Was fresh, and was a mathlete. So the whole you want to join the gang thing wasn't. I wanted to, be honest. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to. I thought about it, and then like 3 motherfuckers I know got killed in like 3 months after. Like the thought crossed my mind. I was like, man, you know, I could.
Not we both scratch
Oh man, you know, XYZ, they having a recruitment drive, you know, maybe I'ma go. Then my cousin got murked on Escanaba. Like, we sophomores. He got popped on Escanaba. A motherfucker who I went to school with got killed over in London town. He was only like a sophomore. They shot this boy like 2 or 3 times with a 12 gauge.
Damn.
Like, fucked him up. They had to shovel this nigga up. A girl I knew who I had a crush on, they had a drive-by outside the school, got hit by a car. And then somebody else I know got killed.
This is all while you sitting there thinking about doing
Yeah, it's like second semester of sophomore year. Like second semester this all happened. Like maybe a little bit in the first semester, but it was like between November, maybe latest, earliest to like May.
They doing movies about
3
laying on
motherfuckers I know.
in Jersey.
3 motherfuckers I know. And when they came back, yeah, they killed the old boy. He had K in his last name. He said he was somebody K. XYK. I ain't gonna say what it was, but he had K in his last name. His name. Pop, pop, hit him with a gauge in London town. My cousin had a K in his name. We was just watching Power Rangers 2 years ago, motherfucking like literally having super soaker fights. And this motherfucker got a super soaker for real, wetted a couple people up, got a K in his last name. Well, somebody K'd his ass on Escanaba. And then after that, it was some couple drive-bys at school. We had a couple riots and shit. Needless to say, junior year of high school, I was at St. Rita. I went to it. I was like,
nah. And for me, it was my homies that I went to the school on 111th Indiana with. Like, we all at this top school, but it's still in the hood.
It's like the nicest. It's mansions and shit all around here, but it's the stone cold hood.
But my two closest friends, I watched them get expelled for having dope in their book bag. I was a sophomore in high school. They had just started moving shit, and I was like, okay, so maybe I shouldn't do this, because these niggas just got expelled.
Yeah, it's like sophomore year of high school, you make a choice.
And you be like,
and some people make it around 6th or 7th grade, but that's why if you looked at any of the shit you see, it's a bunch of children. Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of children who are getting high while their brains are still forming. That's doing brain damage.
I think the story,
and they got PTSD.
The story of Yummy Sandifer.
Yummy was supposed to be a freshman with me at Corliss.
It's a story of a young man named Yummy Sandifer, who he was picked off the block early. And when he was picked off the block, he was also trained
a hitter.
Yeah, he was a hitter. Mm-hmm. So he was supposed to be out here shoot motherfucker. Well, he unfortunately hit a little girl one time, and when he hit that little girl, whole fucking city was after him.
The feds. It became federal. Like Tupac was talking about this shit.
Yeah. Damn.
It was like a big thing, and his gang wound up whacking him.
Yeah, they had to
on Cottage Grove somewhere. Like they found them under the viaduct. Up, it's like 20 years ago, so don't let me get like if I don't say the right detail, all parties involved blame it on.
He was like 11.
Damn.
Yeah.
11.
So like him or the little girl that got whacked was like supposed to be, because I remember hearing the story, and then there was like, and they were freshmen to be enrolled in Corliss. This when I got kicked out of Whitney Young. I'm like, nigga, what? Yeah. I'm going to school with these motherfuckers.
Like, yo, that's why 11.
11, and then they wind up and they train them up to do that stuff because
he was young and small.
He's young, small, and they get different cases. Mm-hmm. They go to Audi home. So you go to the Audi home, was it on Ogden or whatever? You don't go. It's right around the corner from It's right around the corner from the county. Yeah. But you go there. Yeah. So they will have the kids do stuff because they get different cases. But then, essentially, what wind up happening is over time, big homie get whacked, big homie get locked up, and motherfucker never actually taught these people to be anything but shooters. They don't know how to set up a block. They don't know how to, to actually run a marketing and distribution company and have law and order. They don't know how to do any of that. They was just shooters who motherfuckers just literally thought was pawns that was expendable that wind up outliving the king. That's what happened. So when people look at Chicago and they talk that shit, they don't realize, A, this was done to us. We didn't tear them projects down. We didn't do that. That'd be like if they tore down Marcy, Queensbridge, all that shit, and just told them niggas to move around Queens and Brooklyn. What the fuck do you think would happen to East? That shit will light on fire. That'd be like if they tore down the jungle in Compton or in South Central and moved all them niggas. What the fuck do you think would happen? It would be a problem. They did that to us so that they could build condos. Cause Bronzeville cute now, right? You get your little condo in Bronzeville, you get your hardwood and your exposed brick and your marble, and you throw your little Audi truck in the garage, and you live in the ghetto bougie fantasy, right? Well, in order to do that, guess what they had to do? Tear down all them fucking project buildings I just talked about. And where did they move them niggas to? Inglewood. Where's all the rappers that's been doing all the shooting at? Inglewood. Where did they move them niggas to? Woodlawn. Where all the motherfuckers that's been doing the shooting at? Woodlawn. Where did they move them niggas to? The East Side. Where all the niggas that's doing all the shooting and killing at? The East Side. It's a straight 1-to-1
Situation.
It's not a mystery, but you get on TV. Oh, Chirac. Oh, the war. No, nigga, they did this to us.
That's the reaction.
This is the reaction, but people skipping what happened first that caused this shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
But now, and I want to transition to a softer story about drugs. A softer story about drugs. So,
I like drugs.
a Chicago Cubs prospect in their farm system has gotten busted with 21 pounds of meth.
Meth.
Yes.
You know how much a pound of meth costs?
I know. And more. 25-year-old Jesus Camargo Corrales.
When you said, hey, you know what? I apologize for saying because that was racist as fuck. But when you said 25-year-old Jesus got caught with 25 pounds of meth, I'm like, I can see that. I can see that.
They were arrested this past week where a sheriff's deputy said they saw Camargo's car speeding and changing lanes erratically. After pulling him over, Camargo and two passengers said they were driving from Denver. They were driving to Denver from Phoenix. That's where the farm system is playing at, before the season.
Shit, Phoenix. So he's in the cartel.
Yo, they said.
No, he's in the cartel.
They said they discovered a Cubs duffel bag which contained 21 pounds of methamphetamine.
Damn.
1 pound of Oxycontin.
Yeah.
They said he tried playing dumb at first, but then later admitted he'd been contacted by someone in Sonolia, Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah. That's the cartel. And then he admitted to that? Nigga, you just keep playing dumb.
But then he said his payoff. I think he was still playing dumb when he said this. He said he told the police his payoff was only going to be $500. I think they heard the 5 wrong.
First of all,
500,000.
First of all,
that's 500,000.
Let me explain something to you. He's stupid for even talking. You got 25 pounds of cartel product, nigga. You just take that L.
You shut the fuck up.
You just take that fucking L, and you know what? Silencio. Cause let me tell you who you don't want to play with. Them cartels, the MM, you don't want to play with. None of that. And if it was from Sonola, what you say it was from Sonola?
Yes, it was Sonola, Mexico.
Because when you said Phoenix, I already knew what it was. As soon as you said it, I'm like, oh, Phoenix? Oh, that's fresh across the border. And he driving into Denver. What's in Denver? A bunch of Europeans. What do Europeans do? Meth. Holy shit. 25 pounds, and that stuff expensive. You know how much a pound of that shit is worth? I bet you he had that Blue Magic too. Ooh. Well, shout out to the Cubs. And actually the real thing is, it's a really factual shit. Where he fucked up is driving that shit to Denver. If you want to get rid of meth, you take that shit to Lincoln Park.
He's been arrested on He's been arrested and booked on drug charges, including distribution and possession, Class 1 and Class 4 felonies. It's unclear if he's been arraigned on charges yet. He probably will be by the time this episode comes out. The Cubs say that they are aware of the matter. And yeah.
Well, here's what he needs to do. Stay the fuck out of jail. Nigga, you even said what cartel you got it from?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Like,
that's a dumbass. That's what that is.
Yeah. Sorry, Jesus. Sound like you might be meeting Jesus pretty soon.
Jesus would
prayers up to Jesus.
Definitely might.
Fuck.
Be meeting Jesus.
And it sounds like they dipped in the bag a little bit. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like motherfuckers did. Yeah, don't do meth. Leave that shit alone.
So some fun news that you might be interested in here, Neo. Spotify has released what their artists are making now, and we've determined now that over 13,000 artists are making at least $50K.
Okay.
On Spotify now.
All right.
Because they've launched their own website. that provide a plethora of information for artists looking for facts about the money
Right.
Spotify uses to distribute,
Right.
kind of like annual report or
Yeah.
a EEO. So
No, that's good. Well, they had spent, Spotify lost so much money last year because they spent $1 billion on promotion.
mm-hmm.
So artists was kind of tripping, like, hold on. Y'all in the red. Y'all spent $1 billion promoting y'all self. So you could have really just gave us that $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that people making money, and $50K is not a lot of money. I know most people, when they look at music, they think it's about millions and billions and all that shit. But let's be clear, man. It's people with degrees and motherfucker that went to school and got $80,000 worth of debt and college loans and shit who ain't getting $50K a year.
Dead ass.
So shout out to all the people that's working the system, man. I'm happy that people. I want to get on that 13,000 list.
Yeah.
Shit.
And the website, it's called Loud and Clear.
Okay.
It's accessible now. They have also up there who's making 100,000, 500,000, and the $1 Million Club,
Who in the
which
$1
is
Million Club?
870 artists.
Damn.
In 2020.
$1 million, so that's 870 million. That's crazy.
That's great.
That's crazy,
A
man.
lot of people can get that money, get to it.
Get straight.
I've been
to
seeing
the
a
bag.
lot of my folks I went to school with who were
They millionaires now?
no, that's not what I'm about to say.
That would be
What I'm about
nice.
to
So
say,
let's
that would be
speak
nice
that
to
into
say. Yes,
existence.
yeah, to all of them.
Let's
Shout
be
out.
open to the opportunity.
Yeah, flow. But for the folks who do music, I've been seeing them create a lot of micro content around like, hey, if you a independent artist and you've been doing this shit on your own, you don't need this, you don't need that. Like truly pushing how they've been able to exist in the world that they've been existing in. Because a lot of them just genuinely that's all they do. And like some of I've even seen one. Shout out to Eamon out of what, San Diego, I believe. He went to Morehouse, and I fuck with him because he had made like a TikTok where he was like if you in this situation where you want to be an artist, do not be too fucking proud to not stay with your parents. Save your motherfucking money.
Right.
You need to be creating a life where all you need to do is to do music.
Yeah.
And promote your music. That is it. You don't need, he was like, stay with your parents. You don't need your fucking car. You don't need a car. You don't need to live like this. You don't need to live like that. You're trying to do too much as if you're a regular person. If you want to be an artist, this is what you got to do, and it will eventually work out for you, especially if you got the talent. And I see the results from him, see results from everybody else. I know. Shout out to Rick Wilson out here from Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Rick.
Yeah, that's my boy, and he same situation. He literally came to CAU, was there for a semester, had folks. It was folks who was really trying to literally raise money so he could stay. He was like, I don't think I can afford it. Came back, whole life changed once he literally just tapped in with his music. So it was like, and he's been good, but he did all of that. He tapped all the way in, became a full-time artist, and fed into who he already knew was supporting him and following him anyway. So, but I think a lot of people see it as, they people attach themselves to the old system,
Right.
the old way, and stuff like that.
The game shifted, and I'm happy. I'm happy that the game shifted the way you're talking about, because right now, if you look at it, back in the day, it made sense to go through the label system. And for some people, it do. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to say, for some people, it do. Mm-hmm. Without the label system, we wouldn't have a Drake. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't have a Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't have a Beyonce. Those is 1 in a billion type opportunities. For the vast majority of people, if you just want to create, like right now, even the show we doing, let's take it from music just to media in general. The old paradigm, we would have had to pitch this, make a couple demos, sizzle reel and all that, and hope that someone it appeal to their taste level. And if they don't like it or they don't get it, it don't happen.
Yeah.
Now it's to the point where the same way how like Spotify opened that up where 870 people was able to get millions, I feel like now for media and shit, since these cameras is a lot more accessible, since the software is a lot more accessible, since the computers are a whole lot faster, you know what I'm saying? The same way we create Same way we went from rap, you got to be in the label, to now it's people out there getting this Spotify money. All media is opening up where the barriers for entry is low, and the tools are so good that you could just fucking create and make super dope shit without asking for permission. You know what I'm saying? And it's good that people could create without asking for permission. You know, like as an artist, I got locked into a box for a minute because I'm a little bit older from the ask for permission era. You know what I'm saying? Convince the gatekeepers and all that shit. You don't have to do that. And I feel like for example, last time me and Morgan worked together, I had a vision that tech and hip hop were gonna come together. Yeah. And people was looking at me like I was fucking crazy.
Psycho. Like, what the fuck is this?
Like I was crazy. I'm like, the next way, and this is like 2015.
Said this nigga was on shrooms.
I was.
He was like that too. I'm still right.
That was both are true. These are not they're mutually. But anyway, so we was pushing. I'm getting pushback from the ownership. They trying to fight for blah blah blah. I had to ask for permission. Eventually, I let go of the rope. Say fuck it, everybody go do their thing. Fast forward 2021. I'm like, what just happened? Kanye, biggest black billionaire ever do the stock. Jay-Z, stock in tech. Tim and Swiss, stock in tech. All of the legends of hip hop and R&B now got stock in tech. That's what it was. When I was talking this shit 5 years ago, people was looking at me like I was, and Morgan just said, Looney Tunes. But I knew that this was the wave. But I had to ask for permission. And I had to convince people. And eventually I just got tired of fighting the fight.
That makes sense.
Now we're at the point I ain't got to fight the fight no more. I see where the next 5 years is at. I know where 2025 is at with the NFTs and the crowdfunding and decentralized finance and digitization of ownership and art and IP. I see where it's going. I'm gonna tell y'all where the game is going. And Spotify is just the beginning. In the future, you are going to be able to take NFTs and cryptos and things of that nature. It's one thing that's going to be required to make this happen: a digital appraiser. Once they come out with digital appraisal, you will be able to take your tokens, whatever type of crypto you got, and get it appraised. Once you get it appraised, you will then be able to seek loans from decentralized finance crypto people.
Damn.
Using IP and crypto blockchain scarcity as your motherfucking collateral.
So, approach your appraiser with the NFTs that you have being, let's say if it's a graphic, let's say if it's some audio, let's say if it's whatever. So these three things that are major, rare.
You got to be hot as fish grease for this to work.
But these shits, and the things I got are hot too.
You got to be like, moving forward, the next chance moment. Instead of doing the Apple deal, instead of going to get signed, instead of 2013, if it was 2021, Acid Rap was hot.
Yeah.
All Chance would have had to do was release the album cover with some sort of graphics on it. Have somebody play with this shit in After Effects or something as an NFT.
Yeah.
Beeple just sold for $66 million. Let's just say you sell for $600,000. Just $600K, right? Not that much. $600K straight up is more than you would have got from a label, and it's not an advance, and you don't have to pay it back. That's the future of decentralized finance and crowdfunding. So now you're going to be able to do crowdfunding and get financed and prove digitally, immutably your ownership of the IP, using IP as the collateral in and of itself.
That's crazy.
So when I said tech and hip hop 5 years ago when we was with Blue, and we rang the NASDAQ bell. So like we we made it. Like, we had fucking a motherfucker sold Waze. The people that made Waze, the little app, they was coming to check us out. And had her and Lupe together. Like, saw the vision early. Nobody else saw it. But now, moving forward, okay, Shorty sold Waze to Google. She made like 500 million. She got like a couple $100 million. That's more than, like, Beyonce had to work 20 years to get that fucking money. Shorty got that shit in 3 years. I'm like seeing the way it's going. So Spotify is just the fucking beginning. And this tech and hip hop combination is it's gonna fuck everything up. Because if you could sell a NFT for whatever, and that gets you your money, you get $500,000-$600,000. I get $600,000 cash. I know how much it costs to get a song in the top 10 on the radio. $215,000. You on?
Speaking of NFTs, a New York man sold a fart for $85 via NFT.
That's beautiful.
For $85?
A Brooklyn-based film director.
Oh, fart.
Did you hear about the motherfucker who took a Banksy, lit it on fire, and sold
The ashes?
the image of it lighting on fire? So now the NFT is the only official copy of it because the physical is gone.
Now that's some shit.
So they took a Banksy, a real Banksy, lit that bitch on fire.
That's a way to increase the value of it, though.
So now the NFT, and here's the other crazy part about NFTs. Theodore, quit being Theodore. Like, you can't stop it.
Theodore!
It ain't nothing in there. Ain't nothing in there.
So because it's based on blockchain, you said the dude sold the $85 fart, right?
$85 fart.
That's crazy, yo.
That's more than I ever got for a fart.
How much for a fart? $85. About $85.
But check out,
that's such a random
because
number.
it's digital. If anybody sells it, you could set it up in the program. Every sale that happens afterwards, you automatically get 10% of the sale. Automatically. So you sell it for $600,000 the first time, like the imaginary one I said. Let's just say $500,000, make the math easy, right? So then you put it out, and then it blow up, and it's big, right? So that now, let's say 5 years later, somebody sell that bitch for $1 million. When they sell it for $1 million, you automatically get $100,000 thrown into your wallet. So let's say they keep
Just keep selling it.
They keep selling it. So like the Beeple, and he sold a Donald Trump one in November. That was like $2 million. Then he just sold one at Christie's a couple months ago. Like not even a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago. That was $6 million. No, at Nifty Gateway he did $6 million. Christie's he just did $60 million. So every one that he done sold since then, once he got one to go for $60 million, they arguably all the old ones is worth more. Exactly. So even if he had sold one that was $50,000, maybe it's now worth $80,000, whatever. Every time that shit changes hands, because it's in blockchain, they can't hide when it change hands. So every time it change hands, you get a fucking residual. So it's royalties. It's fucking built-in royalties that automatically get dropped into your fucking wallet with no in-between company, no collection agency, no ass cap. The algorithm is already set up. So when you talk about this Spotify shit, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow.
The tippy tip.
All right. Well, I want to get into music theory a little bit because I do want to break down a song that came out a little while ago. But
A little while ago. But I also want to talk about because Chloe Bailey just dropped an amazing cover to the record. Okay.
So
Talking about Beyonce Daddy.
Beyonce Daddy.
Didn't he say something about Chloe Bailey?
He did say something about Chloe
Oh,
Bailey.
I
No,
didn't
I
know
was
that.
talking about she dropped a cover
Oh.
to Silk
He did say
Sonic.
something, though.
Oh, okay.
She dropped the cover to Silk Sonic. She literally just dropped it. I don't care what Matthew Knowles is talking about.
Yeah.
Even though he does make a valid point, Chloe Bailey does not sound as formed as Beyonce. So it is kind of inefficient to even mention her in the same realm right now.
Yeah, people jump the gun sometimes.
It's really just the connection. I think people always. I think we were gonna realize in a real
She would play Beyonce in a biopic though, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, but
Well, let's hear it.
this is what it sounds like.
What you doing? Where you at? Oh, you got plans? No, don't say that. I'm sipping wine in a robe. I look too good to be alone. I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you tryna lay in these arms, I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, boy. Open.
Shouts to Chloe Bailey, who I'm gonna be honest, I actually saw somebody making a comment about her posting pictures of her body the other day. They was like, why? They was like, why? I think that's what they commented. Why?
Why not?
I said, why not, motherfucker? Like, don't tell me that
Like,
she can't motherfucking post her
She
body.
can do whatever she want on
Exactly.
Why is you don't gotta look?
Yeah, twerking online, showing their bodies online. It's like, nigga, we're in the glory days. You better shut the fuck up. Like, you know, it was a time where you couldn't even show a collarbone, a shoulder, a kneecap, and now we living in an age where you could get booty holes.
Say baby, what you doing? Where you at? Oh, you got plans? Don't say that. Shut your trap. I'm sipping wine in a robe. I look too good to be alone. My house clean, my pool warm. Just shake smooth like a newborn. We should be dancing, romancing in the east wing and the west wing of this mansion. What's happening? I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you're tryna lay in these arms, I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. Let you feel the way I feel, and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you're coming through. Ooh, you're so sweet, so tight. I won't bite unless you like. If you smoke, I got the haze. And if you're hungry, girl, I got fillets. Ooh, baby, don't keep me waiting. There's so much love we could be making. I'm talking kissing, cuddling, rose petals in the bathtub. Girl, it's jumping, it's bubbling. I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you're tryna lay in these arms, I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. Let you feel the way I feel, and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you're coming through. La 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 la, I need you, baby. La la la, la la la, I got to see you, baby. La la la, la 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 la, girl, I'm trying to give you this.
which is comprised of Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. Leave the door open.
Leave that damn door.
Yeah, I actually heard Joe Budden make a wild comment about the record.
What
when he
did
was
Joe
reviewing
say?
it. He said it's too perfect.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, now what do you mean by that?
Yeah, because you probably got way more sense than what he said.
It's music. Like I don't like I was saying this in the break. I don't like modern R&B. Like I used to be an R&B head.
Okay.
Like when I say head, I'm talking about I probably know album cuts from the 60s to early 2000s of more R&B than I know hip hop. Like R&B head. Like Jodeci and Drew Hill and motherfucking and D'Angelo mixtapes got me through high school and college. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably got pussy off mix CDs, to be honest with you. Bitch be like, this nigga just got an ear. You know what I'm saying? Like I wonder what that dick do. So I haven't really felt R&B for about 20 years. Like I couldn't imagine having sex to that shit. And that song, that album, that look, that feel, you could tell they just went in the studio, locked in, and was making music. They didn't care who liked it. They didn't care if it was popular. They didn't check what sounds was popular. They didn't check what drum kits was popular. They didn't go on Beatport. They didn't do none of that shit. Them niggas went in the studio, turned on their equipment, and just worked. And it's literally what I complain that artists don't do. Like, we got all these great cameras. We got all these great dolls. We got all this good stuff. And I don't really feel like people is making music that got some emotion to it. Like, I want to... That sound like some shit like when I was young and still, like, interested in sex and shit like that. Like, that makes me want to... Shit. Make love on Molly and shit from a high-rise downtown overlooking the Chicago River. Hey, man. Ain't shit like putting a bitch titties on the glass on the Chicago River at the Ramada and breaking her back, man. Looking at the skyline and shit while her head popping off her fucking shoulders.
So do you think it's
higher than Condor pussy?
Is it
you know?
Do you think it's the live instrumentation as well?
I think it's the musicianship.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you say live, it like
because this is what you do with it.
Like yeah, like you could tell, like when you hear Bruno hitting them notes.
Yeah,
Bruno in there singing, like, and I know people, I said this earlier, I know people not gonna like it. I think he's entering into a little mini Prince stage right now. Like, he's in his bag.
No, and
like,
that's valid.
He's in his, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't compare him to Prince, because Prince is Bruno is Bruno. But like when Prince would walk out, you could tell he was in full Prince mode, and he had his outfits on, and like that swag was like, you could tell, like, Prince is the only person I've ever seen masculine, like, with a fucking lace on.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what I'm saying? This nigga walk in with lace and high heels and shit. Like a legendary Prince moment. You remember when the nigga was at the Super Bowl, but the motherfucker walked out with his hair wrapped up because it was raining and he ain't want to get his hair wet?
You got rain on.
It, like, the nigga, like, I don't give a fuck if it's 300 million people watching the
watching this
Super
shit.
Bowl, nigga.
Fuck
I ain't
that.
getting
We
my
not-
hair wet.
That shit ain't about to
Man,
fall.
that shit ain't about, I ain't fucking my shit up.
Sit here
And
and
when the
just look
nigga
off.
hit his guitar solo and said, fuck it, and took that damn scarf off, nigga, I was excited because Prince took his scarf off and let his hair get wet. I was like, this nigga feeling it.
Yeah.
Bruno, when I saw that little coked up ass nigga with his butterfly collar on and shit, that boy smelt like fish scale. He smelled like glitter, like that good coke and shit. That woo, he smelled like glitter and motherfucking.
Okay.
To that good coat.
I mean, that ain't my drug, but I know what it looked like. So when I hear it, I see people being musicians. To answer your question, to go back to what Joe was saying, it's a vibe. They captured lightning. You know what I'm saying? Whenever, like, they bottled lightning. That note, Bruno hit that note. Whoever was playing the keys,
And
he put
I
his
think
foot in it.
That may actually be why, the album is it's executive produced by Boots. It's going to be executive produced by Bootsy Collins.
Oh.
And I think that, like, as I've matured, I do find myself listening to a lot of 70s, 80s type stuff, and it's no shot to modern R&B. Like I do enjoy some artists. Like I'm more of I've always been a foreign exchange fan.
I
right?
like, yeah, they good.
Like, but again, that goes back to the foreign
I
exchange.
like foreign exchange, like her. I like art.
Yeah, it's a lot of live instrumentation there.
Yeah.
And that's what draws me in. The rawness of it in a way.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of stuff, I think particularly on the R&B side, that's manufactured so much now.
Yeah.
That it's like, maybe I'll just settle, my rap over here.
That's word.
Versus, jumping all the way in.
You
with a
said
lot
the
of
magic word, settle.
Yeah.
Settle.
Like
It's good enough.
It's good enough,
It's
but
good.
I'll also settle and listen to something else versus saying, I'm not about to find myself like I'm not overwhelmed with this stuff. I like some of the new stuff, but I do find myself a lot more listening to older shit. Billy Paul, George Benson.
It's what you said. Like I'm like live instrumentation, or a drum machine. I'm not really. It don't really matter to me. What matters is the level of artistry that a person puts into it. And the good thing about having a band though is because nowadays, if you're a producer, you the drummer, you the bassist, you playing, you doing everything.
Yeah.
Back then, or even now, it's something beautiful about having a pianist because this motherfucker's job is the keys. And they're going to be able to take basic chord structure and add so much more to it. Like you could come in with a little chord structure, but because they're a pianist, they're going to take that concept and flesh it out because that's their artistry and they're focused on their art. A bassist, like you say, Bootsy, I might come in and I'll be like boom, 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 and Bootsy be like, no, it's gonna go boom, 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 and he gonna add a little bit to it, and everybody's putting their touch in it. Everybody's, stirring up the pot, and you're going to get something sweeter than just what modern production is, one person doing Now, with that being said, do I like one person doing everything? Yeah. Hell yeah, because I ain't got to call a bassist. I ain't got to call a drummer. And
I mean, like, some people are nice with it.
Right.
But I think, like, when it comes to stuff that we're receiving, and I'm about to throw it to you, Rodney, when we come to stuff that we're receiving, like vocally, where a lot of times you're paying a little more attention when somebody's singing, right?
Right.
And I think back to gospel. Gospel, a lot of time, I can't listen to gospel where people are out here using, like, producers, that aren't playing the fucking music. Like, I need the live instrumentation because that's a different layer to it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I think that adds another level of feeling to it.
Yeah.
Where now I trust it more. Mm-hmm. It's more authentic to me.
That's real.
I feel it more, versus somebody just throwing some shit out there, And not saying that everybody's throwing shit out there, but there are people who are just throwing shit together, who grabbing a couple of loops and packing the shit together.
You know what it was? Music went it's the yin and the yang to what we was just celebrating about 10 minutes ago. The good part about the new industry is you don't have to ask for permission. Mm-hmm. The bad part about the new industry is you don't have to ask for permission. Like, so there used to be a point where
you need to send this through somebody.
Well, if you like back in when I started,
somebody need to overlook this. Somebody need to edit this.
Yeah. You couldn't even get beats from producers unless you was nice. So there was a curation process where, because the producer, like when I started, if you wanted to be a producer, hood producer, you needed an MPC that was $1,500. You needed a Triton keyboard that was about another $1,200. Now, mind you, you really ain't got no sounds left, so you at $2,700, and then let's say Pro Tools first came anyway. Long story short, you're at and this is better prices, you're at $5K to be a hood producer, and this is like 98, 92 to be a hood producer. You was at 10, 20K. So if a nigga done spent 10K, 5K, just to get a beat out, they're going to be very selective about who they get their beats to. So you had to be nice to get a beat. And then you had to be semi-nice to have a person record you. Or when the songs were $150 an hour for studio time, you didn't just record every damn thing. $150 an hour? Nigga, we're recording the record.
We rehearsing this bitch. We doing it.
When we walk in this studio,
we gonna be ready to go.
Ain't no. I'ma just walk in.
This ain't gonna be the first time I'm spitting this. Nah.
No. This shit's $150 an hour. So people took everything a wee bit more serious because the barriers of entry was so much higher. It wasn't no way you were just walking into my studio session and just freestyling the beat and just punch me in. Nigga, fuck you.
Yeah, you better get it right.
You better get it right the first, because you couldn't even punch on tape and shit. I mean, you could, but
it's cost.
Let me tell you how fucked up it was. First song re-recorded. It was like a 4-track or an 8-track. First thing I recorded on was Reel to Reel. That shit was retarded, but 8-track, 4-track. It just sounded a dog. So everybody has to record at the same exact level because we can't go in and really mix this shit. So like when I spit my verse, I have to have my volume the same throughout, because ain't no going in and mixing it and riding it. Ain't no cuts, ain't no punches, and ain't none of that. So I think when music, the point with me saying all that was that when that disappeared, that's good, because now you ain't got to kiss the producer's ass. Yeah. Now you ain't got to know the engineer. Now you ain't got to go tickle the radio editor's balls. You ain't got to do none of that goofy shit no more. But at the same time, because you don't, people is just putting shit out like a hustle. They just go on Splice, grab this loop, put them together, turn on GarageBand, freestyle some shit.
Yeah, hope it pop. Hope.
You can't, and it worked. And the sad thing is, sometimes it works.
Yeah, sometimes, but not all the time. Yeah. And because of that, now you have people who they get invited into the system with the people who have done all of the, they've done all of the basics. They got the fundamentals down. You know, they remember having to practice, having to rehearse, having to, do all of this, but they're getting caught up between, you can't tell who's who.
Yeah.
And so then people are getting mixed.
It's kind of the same thing's about to happen to y'all. Now that the soft, like them dolls, like Da Vinci and all that, and it's getting good. Where like it's about to happen pretty soon, where everybody's about to show up. Like, well, I got a cell phone that's shooting 4K, and I got a gimbal, and I got Da Vinci, so I'm a content creator.
For sure. I mean, that's already a thing.
Do I need a videographer for?
Yeah, that's been a thing. But I think the thing that I'm learning, I think thinking about what you showed me a few weeks ago with the Unreal Engine,
right?
They're making it free for one. They're making saying that you can do whatever you want to do on this until you make a substantial amount of money. Then we're going to come talk to you. I think that factor is still going to be relevant no matter what your expertise is or whatever you're trying to do. The skill and the level and the content and the quality of it is going to always be king, no matter what you want to. And I think regardless of us talking about trash music, trash content, people making microwave shit, the thing that's going to always end up winning is the thing that deserve to win. Yeah. It ain't going to be like, damn, like we really out here letting this trash get the most money. It's like, no. They might got a lot of money. We might be, debatable on why they here, why they should be here. But the thing that's going to win everything, that's going to be on the top, is going to be that. So I feel like for me, I don't ever worry about it. I'm not really threatened at all by folks. I believe in my ability and what I'm learning, what I'm being able to add to it. I know people don't got my eye, my vision, and the way I can see the certain things and make it happen. So yeah, keep doing the things on your little phone gimbal and do this, that, and the third, because you're gonna be trapped in micro content. Yeah. So your imagination, you're already limiting your imagination to only what you can do on that phone.
And alignment with what you're saying, to wrap that up, I think that because people glorify the past a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Nostalgia
and they kind of gloss over shit. The reason why this song probably hit is because when you hear so much bullshit, that when you actually hear something with somebody like is a master of their craft.
Oh yeah, you gonna take it. You appreciate it a little more now.
It
like,
hits you different.
Come on,
it hits you different.
I need that.
Yeah.
It's just like if you've been smoking some.
Yeah.
Smoking some Reggie. That one time you get that
and then
hit,
you get that
like,
whoa.
You be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, life could have been like this.
Whoa.
I need that. Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Keep it
So,
coming.
I'm glad we using the platform to focus on the whoa shit.
Yeah.
So that it could more eyes and ears, because right now, was it 40,000 songs a day getting uploaded on Spotify? Some shit, some stupid ass number, like dumb number. So it's not, sometimes shit get lost in the noise.
For sure.
In the fog, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just glad that they like, because I wouldn't have never thought Anderson .Paak and fucking Bruno Mars was gonna do an album with
But it
Bootsy
makes
Collins.
sense. It makes sense once it came to be. It's like, all right, I mean, you do got this very much musical ass nigga with this very much musically trained, very much a student of black music, as in Bruno.
Well, what is he? He Filipino and what? Puerto Rican?
He Filipino and Puerto Rican, yeah. And then Anderson .Paak is. I think Anderson .Paak might be damn near the same, like Filipino and black or something.
Nigga.
Yeah, something like that. So.
And they were on tour together because Anderson .Paak opened up for Bruno a few years ago. So they have already seen each other.
Because he a drummer too, so
so my thing is, y'all recognize that, hey, our sounds already sonically,
you know what?
we make sense together on tour. Why wouldn't we make sense together
as a project?
Yeah.
And I like that Anderson, I made it about Bruno. Let me say this. When Anderson first came out, his more rap shit sounded a bit too close to Kendrick. He sounded a bit too close to Kendrick to me. And I was like, wait a minute. This nigga on TDE, y'all both on Interscope, Aftermath, and y'all sound alike? That's kind of strange. Now, he has completely divorced himself from that original knock. It's like he heard it and he responded. He didn't react. He's like, oh, y'all think I'm too much like Kendrick? Check this shit out.
And I think that's because his musicality too. The
Yeah.
people around him, the what's their name? The Free Nationals.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what makes, and that what's crazy. That's kind of a cheat code when you think about it. Like, rappers, it seemed like rappers tend to have certain people they be around, and if shit don't work out, they just replace what that person's role was.
Right.
So if it was a producer they was working with, or whatever, or a motherfucker writing with them on the low, whatever bullshit. If shit don't work out, then they just replace them.
Right.
Musicians, shit happens, all this type of stuff. You still getting somebody who's a professional at a particular thing.
Who's already got 10,000 hours.
Who always has 10,000 hours. And so they probably can either bring the exact same intensity or more than. So it's like, if you do want to shift, you want to pivot, you can have that conversation on a music theory level of like, I really want to do this differently. I feel like this, that, and the third, and approach people who literally could be like, oh, you just talking about like this? And they was like, damn, that's it.
Yeah, you got other geniuses in the room.
Yeah, and it's better because it's segmented.
Yeah. And
instead of it being all in these fewer people in the room. So I'm gonna rap with 3 people that I make music with. I fall off because they was a team of niggas. It's Cool Andre. I lose Cool Andre.
Right.
Now I can't make shit. So now what I got to do? I got to replace them, and now I'm just still got one person that I'm just leaning on, or a group of people I'm leaning on. While they're only gonna be based in the type of shit they do. They're gonna have a style. They're gonna have their own sound. They're gonna have whatever they do, but it's gonna be based in that ability of producing, not in terms of, and which is a skill in itself.
Right.
But it's not the same as you literally. If you're not on this music, you still just making fucking trumpet fucking albums and guitar albums and doing your own thing and contributing to other people's music. So you're going deeper and deeper with your thing. So it's like, it makes sense how he could have pivoted because he has musicians. He has musicality and musicians so close to his music making.
I like, it's a wave. This is the way it was like this for a while, but eventually it became expensive. And eventually people got tired. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. Because you look at what happened to the bands and the groups. It's real simple. Tour. Everybody missed this type of stuff. But the thing is, it's an equation. I'm going on tour. Let's say Neo.com's going on tour.
It's cheaper to just have you go on to it and
Hello?
have you and 7
Because
motherfuckers.
here's the thing. You got your band
That's what
where
Drake
they
did.
all need plane tickets and or a bus. And if they on the plane, now they need oversized luggage and all that
Everybody.
shit. Everybody got to get the extra $50 every time. They all need rooms. And because these niggas grown, they don't want to double up.
Yeah.
You trying to get some pussy?
Oh, they don't want to double up. They like, no, I
in
need.
San Diego.
So
Hello, Chicago.
I'm supposed to buy 8 plane tickets, 8 oversized luggage things,
Double the luggage.
8 hotel
8
rooms.
hotel
8 hotel
rooms,
rooms.
8 per diems, and 8
Niggas got to eat.
They gotta eat, so I gotta have a per diem, and I gotta pay you off this shit.
Cars to transport them. And the
I need
equipment.
the bigger van,
The crew
and
to- the
need
crew to
somebody
set
to
up.
drive the van who's gonna be sober.
Security.
Security for
Because
these,
y'all 5.
and you got to keep up with all 7 of these niggas. So now we got to check out the hotel where Rodney? Well, you know he met that girl last night at the Ish Kabibbles. Well, goddamn it, what a
Okay.
Oh, we in Philly. How y'all doing, Philly?
you know Ish Kabibbles was. He met now we got to wait for you or some goofy ass
Yeah.
shit like that. So
That sound like a damn scene from Temptations. Like, is David on the bus? Where you
Yeah.
at? Like,
that's how motherfuckers came. I am Flash, and these are the heartbeats. So that was the 80s and 90s, and then the rappers eventually figured out, do I cut this shit 8 ways or do I cut this shit one way? It's like,
One way, and I just pay 8 niggas to be around me at that
let me
point.
think.
Word.
I mean, but so that happened for the last 10, 20 years, but what happened? Music got stagnant. Music got stale.
Yeah.
And would you want to deal with a drummer? I want to drum this way. I want a bass. Like, imagine if you had a color corrector that was arguing with you. No, this is the way I feel we should correct. Nigga, I didn't ask you how you felt. I told you what fucking LUT to use. Now, goddammit, put the LUT on this shit.
Make it work.
Yo, so I want to move on to
Make
the
that
next
shit
record.
cool. Literally cool.
The next record we're reviewing comes from Joyce, Wrice.
Okay.
Featuring Freddie Gibbs. It's called On One. You're
Freddie
listening
Gibbs
to
getting
another
features.
element.
Yeah.
You know how to keep me going, know how to keep me flowing. When you hear me, I'll be going through it. I think I'm giving too much, even though I shouldn't. Gamble on my time, I don't play with it. Yeah, I roll the dice on you, baby. I hit a 7, you can swing my way, and while you at it, you can get a little taste. But you know that's not all I want. Them late nights with you ain't enough. How does everything change when I say I want ya? We be going back and forth, acting like you're so unsure. But every time you hear it, it's like I'm all yours. I'm usually quick to cut it off, but with you I can't choose. Think I'll be all one. If I switch it up fast on you, baby, you lose. But I really want it bad, what's a girl to do? Yeah. Sometimes I wanna cut it off, but with you I can't choose. You got me on one. You got me on one. You either want it all or don't want nothing, babe. You ain't gon' have me at it going crazy. Cause you know we been good on this side. Let's just put it all together and get it right. But you know that's not all I want. Them late nights with you ain't enough. How does everything change when I say I want ya? We be going back and forth, acting like you're so unsure. But every time you hear it, it's like I'm all yours.
Baby, tell me what you want. Yeah. Black Russians and the zoo, yo, that's what I'm on. 100 text, she do the food when I don't call her phone. Bitch trip, click, click, you get the dial tone. Relaxed on the tracks, I don't rap, I get my style on. Your last nigga hit you and quit you, now you can't find homes. Had your mind blown, nigga, diamonds actually like rhinestones. Fuck the runway, I'm running hoes fashion week. French bitch from Ivory Coast, pussy magnifique, sneaky link. I need a freak like Adina Howard, not a goofy bitch that be checking phones when I'm in the shower. Police got behind us, I took the chopper, she took the powder. Lawyer got my bail, I be on the streets in a couple hours. Ride for me, the game dirty but my heart pure. Had to test the waters, I couldn't swim, I was unsure. Undecided with this shit, I'm in disguises when I hit. Sometimes I had to tell a lie to keep my bitch.
I'm
What's
usually
up?
quick to cut it off, but with you I can't
Baby, what's up?
choose.
Baby, tell me what you
If I
want.
switch it up fast on you, baby, you lose. But I really want it bad, what's a girl to do? Oh yeah. Sometimes I wanna cut it off, but with you I can't choose. You got me on one. You got me on one.
And that right there is on one. Joyce Wrice featuring the Indianimal. Freddie.
Wow.
Indiana.
Wow. You know, he's actually probably the third greatest Gary
Resident
of all time.
Michael and Janet.
Michael Janet
Michael
and Freddie.
Janet, Freddie.
Michael Janet and Freddie.
That's a good look. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
Michael.
good coming from Gary, especially.
Yeah.
That's lit. That's lit. I love this song. I love this song.
Hold on, I want to shout out another Gary resident.
Oh, go ahead.
My homie Zach Boog. He does some syndicated stuff for iHeart. He came from Gary as well.
Nigga, I said Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, and mother.
She said number 4, Zach Buzz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zach Boog.
She said Zach
You
Buzz.
know what?
Number
If
4.
that's number 4,
I'm
fuck
throwing
it. I'm
Zach's number
riding
4.
it.
I mean,
I got
yeah, it's still debatable. So he number 4.
I got
We
you.
know who the top 3
Yeah, I
is,
got you
though.
top
That's not
3.
debatable.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know what? Zach could go in and fold.
Any animals. So go ahead. But no, this song was cold to me. I actually just discovered who Joyce Wrice was for the first time when she was on Lucky Days project.
Yeah, she's on Lucky Days new album.
Yeah, and I think the song they did together, they actually put on her album. Her album came out, I think, this past Friday or Thursday or something like that. And this was one of the singles that she led with Freddie Gibbs, which I think is brilliant. I love just that reverse collab on, where you got you go get the hip hop collab instead of the other way around. Whereas this, you go get the R&B girls or guy to sing your hook or whatever. I love when they bring them on just to lay a verse on, and she got a beautiful fucking voice. She got a nice look. She definitely looks like some of these girls that are already out already. But I like that her sound seeming like she's trying not to be that as much.
Oh, to me, her look is the polar opposite.
No, I'm saying she's fair skinned.
Oh, I mean, like
racially ambiguous.
I mean,
like
yeah.
a lot of other motherfuckers.
Oh.
like a lot of other motherfuckers. So
well,
and luckily she's not British, so that's dope.
Yeah, well, that's she looks coastal, and back coastal. I mean, it could be Atlantic or Pacific, where you just literally visually, she just looks like one of them coastal girls that they parents just got that wild ass mix that only happened in New York or LA or some shit.
Yeah.
And they be like, "Oh, I'm Filipino and fucking
Egyptian.
yeah." You be like, "How? Like, when did them people fuck? Like, and could we get more of that to happen? Like, we need to
They
make
actually
this a
met in
thing."
Atlanta at a convention.
I like the record.
Met at Freaknik.
Right.
Wow.
Freaknik.
You know what?
Don't stop.
That explains a lot.
Right.
Some of these people's parents met at Freaknik. Like, you could tell. That's what's wrong with these niggas.
Yeah, think about it. Think about the people who was born between 96
shit.
and beyond.
Holy shit. They crack babies whose parent who had a child at Freaknik. Holy fuck, like that.
You was conceived in
God.
a bush in Piedmont Park.
Oh, wow. With some motherfucking Lil Jon playing in the... No, it wasn't even Lil Jon
it's
back
for
then.
Kilo.
Shit, it was Pastor Troy.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yo, mom, no, I
Go look
like...
it up.
I like... when you say
Kilo.
look, though, the look to me is completely opposite. And when I say this, I don't... Well, fuck it. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. People think what they think. It's interesting to say that the new opposite is natural. Like it's crazy to say like, wow, she's like breaking ground by like having a completely natural
But
look.
like not being extremely curvy, not
like,
being, or if she is, it's like that's her and that
like
type of
no,
shit.
I mean, you look back, man. Aaliyah was not
Yeah.
like a lot of artists and stars prior to this era were not.
Bodacious.
Yeah, they weren't. So that's kind of different. The look totally reminded me of like a SoCal party. They all look like they shop fucking on Fairfax or La Brea, Melrose. I know those people. I know that vibe. I know that. I don't say I know her personally, but I know that they captured it. I'm happy Freddie is actually. I've been a big Freddie Gibbs advocate for years, and when it's not been popular, and to see him go up and get nominated for the Grammy, it's kind of the same line of everything we've been talking about consistently. I think Fred realized he was not gonna go platinum. He wasn't gonna ever be super popular, and that the music that he liked, it wasn't it wasn't mainstream. And the moment he said "fuck it,"
That's when everybody
And
loved
did him.
That's when he went to another level. And so I'm not really used to Fred features on R&B albums. This is new. It's interesting. But if you look at it, I've been looking at her thing. You could tell. Look, she got a K Tronada interlude.
West
Side Gun interlude. Like K Tronada, West Side Gun, Freddie Gibbs. Like by her being a R&B artist, but those are the
She's eclectic.
Yeah, she's eclectic,
Yeah.
and if she's going for a look, she's going for a sound. She's not going mainstream, and that's just crazy that we in a point where now somebody wanting to have critically acclaimed artist and have a completely natural look, that's actually unique.
That's word.
Like we're in an interesting. I'm natural, and I messed with critically acclaimed artists. Wow, that's so different.
Because you exactly
It's
right.
crazy to
you
say
exactly
that.
right about that, because just thinking about those 3 features on her album, K Tronada was nominated as fucking best new artist. Like, this man ain't been making music since 2008, 2009, damn near.
K-Tra, I remember when I
K
met
Tronada
K-Tra.
been out for so long, and he was nominated for best new artist last Sunday. So it's
Best
like
new artist?
best new artist,
I met K-Tra in 2000.
which I know it's a technical reason to why they make.
I met K-Tra
why you gotta
in
even qualify, but it's still weird.
2013. And the reason why I say I met him is because when he came and performed at Lure, he was so new that they didn't even get him bottles or a table. He was just a DJ.
Damn.
And they set him at my table because I had some bottles.
Okay.
So when they set him down,
Something's like.
they was like, yeah, this is K Tronada. I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga at my table? Oh, he K-Tra, he cool. Nigga got on them 1s and 2s,
And you was
did
like, oh,
his
this nigga
thing.
funky.
Oh, this motherfucker. I thought I had some new fresh shit. Like, I got a secret. K Tronada. That motherfucker came back 3 months later and had the stage table, and I wasn't allowed to sit at his table that time. So
But it's
the
critical
roles
time.
reversed.
Yeah.
No, but I did enjoy the Joyce Wrice record. I'm actually really happy that Freddie is doing more R&B features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that, to your point, Freddie, like, he was kind of, still reeling a little bit from that whole Jeezy separation for a
And
little
then
while.
that jail sentence.
Yeah. And so I'm really just glad that he has been able to bounce back from that
Yeah.
and focus on him.
Yeah.
Just doing the music. Like,
Yeah.
because doing the music he does unlike anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nobody that can do what Freddie does
Yep.
on a microphone.
Not at all.
Yep.
And so I'm so glad that, that little bullshit beef that he had with Academics was over and all of that.
He killed the Academics.
Yeah.
Academics got fired, said that Fred was irrelevant, and Fred got Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
And let me just say this before we move off about Fred. It's so many super MCs, legends, that would love a Mad Lib album, let
Yes.
alone
2.
An Alchemist album.
an Alchemist album. I'm going to say this, and it's not popular. Fred is one more good album away from making the list. Because I don't care who you are. you get 2 or 3 classic good albums or whatever.
That's all you need.
You're on the list.
That's all you need.
What list are we talking about?
The list.
The top 5?
The top, not 5, but you on the list.
You on the list.
You in the conversation because he get one more album.
Well, yeah, he gonna be number like.
Top 20.
Okay, I could see that. I could say top 20.
Top
Okay.
20.
Yeah.
Because
And he still has a lot of time left. We don't know how much.
he needs one more.
Yeah.
But it's even when you get to that area, it gets so subjective.
But
Is
just
it subjective though?
But just
Once you
being
get
in
to the top 20, hell
but just
yeah.
being in the conversation
The
is
way
all-
the names that people be talking.
I mean, I think we all had the
tossing
same
in.
top 2.
everybody got the same top 5,
I
top
think so.
10.
I think most people have.
Depending on
Where you from?
What
Okay.
what era you
I
from.
think
area
in
you
this
from,
room
all that shit.
right now we could play rock paper scissors with it. Everybody say the greatest rapper of all time in 3, 2. When I get to 1, 3,
Right.
2, 1. Jay-Z. Come on, see that was really
Jay-Z.
simple.
But my
And
thing
then after
is,
that somebody gonna go.
But that's the thing.
Wayne.
No, it's not. It's
But that's what I'm saying though.
Then
This is
it
what I'm
gets
saying.
opiniony.
Biggest
That's what I'm saying. It's
Big Pac.
It gets
Wayne.
No,
subjective.
not Pac.
Yes.
Not Pac. Pac is not 3.
I'm not going in any order.
yeah,
I'm just saying everybody has
Yeah.
essentially.
It's usually-
if you go top 20,
Yeah.
I think there's overlap at about 50%
Yeah.
of
Sure.
most people's top
And that's
20.
that's what I'm saying.
Now top 3, top 5, those is conversations.
Yeah,
Top
conversation.
20, everybody's basically saying the same shit. And I think Fred is one more away.
Okay.
One more because you get 3 classic albums.
Who spot he taking? LL.
No, hold
Ain't
on.
nobody ever taking
Whoa,
LL
whoa, whoa.
spot.
LL is forever, okay?
LL is the original Drake. You gotta
Come on,
remember.
you gotta remember that, bro. Like,
Who he got to take a big spot if he in the top
LL
20?
Top 20.
He in a big spot. That's a lot
I
of
can't
people.
believe you just said LL
Nah,
like that,
LL.
man.
Actually, that's the Drake prototype.
For sure.
Him and Nelly.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Shout out to Nelly.
Drake just did it
Oh
better.
yeah. Bow Wow too. Evidently, according to Drake.
Who?
Oh, wait, yeah, Bow Wow.
Drake said it wouldn't be no him without Shad Moss.
Hey, but that was like being facetious a little
Shad
bit.
Moss.
Hey man.
The big bow.
Yeah, why y'all talking?
He was
that
joking
shit?
a little bit. He was just
Why
talking
y'all talking
shit.
that
Big Bow
shit?
Wow.
I remember when Shad Moss came to Evergreen Plaza.
Turned it up.
Turn
man.
that bitch up.
Nigga, it was a riot.
That's what's up.
It was 12-year-old girls trying to rip this nigga braids out. They took the bitches took his little chain with the paw print. The little bitches on 95th and Western snatched that nigga train.
You know where Raising Cane's is down the street from my house?
Rock the bells, motherfucker.
Where Raising Cane's is literally where Evergreen Plaza used to be. That used to be a mall.
That used to be a mall.
That is a mall.
It's not a mall no more.
That's not a mall no more.
Nigga, it's something right there.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
strip.
There's a strip, a bunch of fucking
No, I'm
stores.
talking about when
But it
it
used
was
to be
a
a
mall.
Oh, I remember that. I got lost there, Evergreen Plaza. Not to say that my mother wasn't a good parent, but me and my cousin, we got lost in Evergreen Plaza on multiple occasions.
You got left, nigga. You
'cause
ain't get lost.
My mama and her sister used to. My mama and her sister used to go to Evergreen Plaza with us. At least I want to say 3 times a month, and every time I'm telling you, we would be supposed to be sitting in KB Toys. Then somebody decide to walk somewhere.
Hey, your mama start walking slow and let you get ahead.
No, shut up.
And next thing you know, she make a right and she in
like-
Carson's and shit. And you turn around, mommy.
That's funny.
She just
That's
give
funny.
you
I
enough
think you
money
still-
for some Mrs. Fields cookies and shit.
Shut
you
up.
just sitting over there eating cookies
Yeah,
downstairs.
the only reason because I obviously wasn't even here when Evergreen Plaza
Oh,
was
that
here.
downstairs at Evergreen Plaza was nasty. Gee, it was a lot of shit down
The
there,
plaza
bro.
went through eras. In
But-
the 80s, it was decent.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
had an arcade.
Yeah.
90s, it was kind of the place,
Why
but
they tear it down?
because niggas was shooting.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Cause like, it got
only
like
reason-
no, the plaza was cool, but then it got so bad. I used to go to Ford City instead of the plaza.
And that's
Damn,
when
so
you
you
know
go
it's bad.
further.
Because you had to go out further. Because
Yeah.
like the plaza was cool because they had the movie theater and shit. But because it was so close to the Hundreds and so close to Inglewood, the Inglewood niggas would just take the Western bus, and the Hundred niggas would just take the 95th Street bus.
Yeah. It was a bus that used to take you. It was a bus that used to take you from the 95th there right stop right to Evergreen Plaza. Yeah, yo, you can't do that.
Nah,
Cannot
so
do
after a
that.
That's
while,
a shame.
after a while, it became more logical. Just
Yeah.
take that 79th Street bus all the way down to
Ford
Ford City. But that's before Ford City was Little Mexico. Now you go up there, you know what I'm saying? No. But I'm
gonna be honest, like Ford City, I grew up in Ford City because I
you
live
from 79th and Central.
You gotta stop saying that, yo, because people gonna start pulling up on a block, and then I'm about to explain to you
why you want 79th and Central. We get it, nigga. You from Burbank. I get it.
I'm gonna have to explain to you know some of my
your essays,
some of my homes. I'm gonna have to explain to them.
I went to Ford City recently and shit. They was having a quinceañera in that bitch. Like damn.
Have you been to a quinceañera for real?
At Ford City?
No, I have in real life. I was dating somebody and they had a cousin who had a quinceañera. And
nigga, you about to have a quinceañera. That's what the fuck is about to happen.
All right, so our third record is a Chicagoan, one of my favorite artists.
Okay.
Saba. He has a new record. He just dropped it.
Saba is one of the least. They don't appreciate him enough.
Yeah,
they really don't.
Exactly. He has a new record called Ziplock.
Okay.
And you heard it on Another Element.
I was in West Oakland, California when I found out about a piece of me. All this solitude around, I'm starting to see when I'm alone, the shit I think. I come from the part of town I talked about, but talk your outline if you blink. I can't go outside today, that shine and fade, and that go along with my peace. All these energies and entities and people that just want shit from me. I can't make this up, the luxuries of being broke as fuck and escaping. Not to sound ungrateful about the blessings, but my best days are all in my past. I've been working like a slave, and proud to say, now look, but I am like bad. And then in the Ziplock, went and got a wristwatch, cop another wristband. Anytime I risk my life, clocking out the TikTok, watch it all on TikTok. I'm willing to bet it all, I'm willing to risk my life. And then in the Ziplock, went and got a wristwatch, cop another wristband. Anytime I risk my life, clocking out the TikTok, watch it all on TikTok. I'm willing to bet it all, I'm willing to risk my life. Yeah. I was in Bronx, New York when I decided this the type of life that I live. I made sacrifices, what the fuck you writing for? You know you do not give. I got right back on my feet, I fell face first the first time, I'll admit I did. Took a couple years for me to feel like I did not fall upon all deaf ears. Niggas wanna wait, but I call that fear. At least I got a place for if all else fails. Nigga, I went on a date, told her call that live. I told her lose my line, then don't call back here. Yeah, I'm about to lose my mind, I got all that care. Hey, listen to me rhyming, can't hold back tears. Gamble on a life, but it won't be fair. Trade it off for some sand and a beach chair. And then in the Ziplock, went and got a wristwatch, cop another wristband. Anytime I risk my life, clocking out the TikTok, watch it all on TikTok. I'm willing to bet it all, I'm willing to risk my life. And then in the Ziplock, went and got a wristwatch, cop another wristband. Anytime I risk my life, clocking out the TikTok, watch it all on TikTok. I'm willing to bet it all, I'm willing to risk my life.
Saba.
I was like, nigga, you getting exposure.
It's called Ziplock. Yeah. He also dropped another record, Rich Don't Stop.
Okay, that's the same thing. Okay.
So that was yeah. But what did you think of the record? I'll start with you, Neo.
I like it. I believe that Saba is like out of that group of Chicago, that age range, which includes ironically everybody from Keith to No Name.
Right.
I believe Saba's actually my personal preference, my personal opinion, my biases. I think he's one of, if not the most talented. Sounds a little bit like Earth Gang, the song a little bit, but then again, I like that song he did with Earth Gang and J. Cole. I think
it was perfect.
J. Cole blacked out on that though.
Yeah,
he blacked out. Saba is I mean, the video, I don't know. I'm not feeling the visual. I feel like, they could have did something to actually connect with the song, especially if they clearly in California, they could have really got a better visual. But the record itself is dope. Saba's dope. And I always want to support Saba. Like, he hasn't had that huge record yet. He hasn't had that hit yet. It's coming, though. And when it happens, I'm glad we're able to be on record saying that this motherfucker been dope the whole time. So ain't no mysteries.
Word. I think Saba is talented as hell. I definitely think he is definitely one of the most talented people to come out of Chicago from that particular era as well. I think it's funny how he is still here out of so many of them who all were a part of different cliques and groups and collectives. Yeah. He's still making music. He's still making music at a particular high level. Yeah, very. Because you have some people who making music, but obviously we not liking all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Spiraling down.
Vic is still around making music with people. We was just reviewed a Rocky Fresh song last week featuring Vic Mensa. We was listening to something with Joey Perp not too long ago that we didn't like. So it's like people from that similar time are definitely still making things, but are they making things we like? Are they progressing within their artistry? And
you know what it is?
This is what this to me this song specifically sounds like. Deep cut, sound like you just throwing some shit out there.
It's an
album cut, throwing something out there. Once y'all get this song with everything else, then y'all probably be like, damn, I kind of like this song even more now.
Right.
Based off the story, based off his last project that he put out. I think it was called Care or Take Care or Care of Me or something like that. I can't remember, but great project, very much a storytelling type of project. And he's Chicago as hell. He's very, very, very Chicago.
Definitely
with his team,
a West Sider.
With his team, with everything.
Definitely West Side.
I fuck with that. And I think he's going to be around for a long time. I think he's going to make music for not only himself, but for other people.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time.
If he ever starts A&R, if Saba has an ear. If you've ever noticed, there's a consistent, whether he does the production or not, there's a consistent thread count to his sound. Mm-hmm. And along the lines of what you were saying, I believe a lot of other artists may have been more popular earlier. They may have even been more connected earlier. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people don't want to admit, they think a lot of this shit was organic, and they think that a lot of this shit was grassroots. A lot of that group of people wasn't grassroots. That shit was AstroTurf. That shit was rolled out. You know what I'm saying? It ain't naturally occurred. Shit was sod. Niggas just rolled it out. And I believe that Saba didn't have the machine or the name or the popularity early on. So a lot of names might have been more popular because they went to the right school or their parents had the right connections or they was in the right gang, whatever. Now that we actually getting down to just the music and all that pomp and circumstance done wore off.
Word.
You now just got to listen, and Saba is slowly going to keep rising up because popularity done worn off. They ain't the new young hot niggas no more. You motherfuckers that had a 5-year run. Y'all 20x years old now. So now you just being not judged on your potential. You being judged on your productivity. And now that it's being judged on productivity, Saba is because everybody had potential at first. I thought Vic Mensa was gonna be the one because he had the most potential to me. Little curly head, cute kid, making alternative music, had a band, doing songs with Disclosure and shit.
He gonna be the one. Most potential.
Saba's been the most productive.
And I would say this. I would like to add this. I think something that we've mentioned, with some artists who it seems like they're chasing, the fame more so than anything else. I think Saba has at this point figured out that, I can have a very successful career and life by doing the music that I like. Bingo. And I don't have to aspire, for that fame. Well, I don't know Saba like that. I think that, he probably would say that it would be cool, if I got some recognition.
Oh, of course, everybody would like it.
But him, like Freddie, like Freddie Gibbs, he had that moment probably a lot earlier than a lot of other people, but he recognized it. And so I'm glad that, he's continuing to make great music.
Right.
I mean, even when he tries different things, like his music always shows growth. It always shows a little something new, a little something extra.
Yeah.
You know, and he continues to elevate himself.
It's like a hooper to go work on his game every summer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah, you know, you come back all of a sudden, nigga could hit a 3 a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it's that difference between popularity, potential, and productivity.
And I think a lot of folks, they have to lose everything before they do that.
The
Little Durk, for example, right? Little Durk had to get dropped from Def Jam for him to like really like
Step in
and lock
up.
in
And
with
figure
it.
it out.
You know, lock in with it. I mean, now look, with Lil Durk, his story, and I love Durk, but keep in mind, like we've already talked about, he's a product of that situation where a lot of the people around him, they are just ghost right now, like literal fucking ghosts.
Yeah, like everybody.
Exactly, and so
That's why I was damn near crying watching that Ghost and Ray shit, because I was also high as fuck.
Yeah.
But when it clicked, because I had some golden teachers and some tea last night, so I was there. But when I saw it, and I was
Golden
like,
teachers, I ain't never heard of.
"Dawg, golden teachers, they them things." It's that thing. But it clicked in my head like, damn, these is 2 project niggas that used to basically their equivalent of gang banging and shit.
yeah,
And they actually turned out to be best of friends and super partners, and had any one of them bullets that they shot at each other landed, they wouldn't even have been able to find out that they was closer than brothers. And when I think about what happened here,
and that's why I'm saying, like, Durk, he has an opportunity now to do, and he's doing a lot of stuff musically,
is.
right? He's changing, he's growing. You
yeah,
know?
that's
I saw him the other day tweet something. He was like, "Who need best friends when you got 7 kids?"
that's true.
And who need friends? when you
Children,
got-
I like
And
having
7 different
Chil-
flows. Like
chil-
Dirk got. I swear, Dirk. I done heard 5 different Dirk songs, and I swear it's like he choosing.
But
a
that's
different
because
thing.
he's able to really hone
But I
in.
like that
and
about
work
But you
his
know
I
what
think
though?
that's dope.
To where your point to how you transition to that, sometimes a step back is really a step up.
forward.
Yeah.
A setup.
Yeah.
Because when you lose, I remember, and I make it short, I remember hitting my bottom. I remember. A shorty did something to me. Like, life has just kicked me in the teeth. Long story short, something happened. And it was like a movie. You know how they had a movie and they freeze frame where they break the fourth wall and they segue and shit, and the motherfucker get that monologue? No, this literally happened to me in split second. Bitch did something. And then I was emotionally kicked in the teeth. And I remember feeling it, and I was like, damn, this is the bottom. This is what it feels like. And the voice in my head was like, well, shit. Either you could lay here, or you could just bounce your ass back up. Because if you bounce up, you could get up faster than if you lay down and just get up. But this is literally the thought that happened in my mind. Split second. Man, the story ain't important, but I bounced back up. So I know a low, when you hit that low and shit is fucked up, you got 2 options. You can either lay there, be a bitch and accept that shit, or you could just jump up and swing on the motherfucker. There's been times where I just laid there and been a bitch. There's been times where I done jumped up and swung. And the times where you jump up and swing, that's when you find another level inside of you that you might not have known was there in the fucking first place. So sometimes failure is the best thing that can happen to a person. Like that happened to Dirk. He went deep inside, and now street shit aside, and it's fucked up that he not gonna be able to enjoy it because, like you say, this ghost thing. But now this nigga got features with Drake and Lil Baby and he literally dug inside himself and is bigger and better now to Def Jam. Like, fuck y'all. Nobody even needs y'all.
And he's setting himself up, just like I was saying a few episodes ago. Like that featuring Lil Baby is a look right now.
Featuring Lil Durk.
Featuring Lil Durk, he loading that right
Yeah.
now. He loading that right now. And I think people, A&Rs already see that.
Yeah,
The folks who
he's
while
sliding in that, he's
Meg
sliding in that
album
Future gap.
and all that shit. Yeah, people see that.
Future done made a little gap a little bit, cause let's be clear. That Future Uzi got more press from getting a diamond in his head than he got for putting out a full album with Future.
Word. The Uzi Jewel.
The Uzi Jewel got a longer press life than the Future and Uzi album.
Yeah, Uzi
Strange but true. So Dirk saw that gap and I just wish that his people was around and enjoy. I wish that he's not gonna be able to have his Ghostface and Raekwon moment.
Yeah.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point to close it out today.
Okay.
Started with, Ghost and Ray, ended with that parallel.
Yeah.
Talking about Lil Durk. What y'all got planned for this week?
For this week, I got a new system came in, and I think it ain't nothing but, God in the universe, that it came in way earlier than expected.
That's beautiful.
I'm talking about I ordered it on Thursday, and stuff started coming Friday. You know what I'm saying? On Prime, through Prime. And I'm like, oh, y'all trying to really get to it, and I love that. Which it feels affirming to me, because just like Diamond last week was saying how she left her job.
You stay by Beverly?
Yeah, I stay in Beverly.
Oh, well, shit, they drove that shit straight from 103rd.
I don't know the routes.
No, Amazon is
Right there.
It's on 103rd.
Yeah.
It's on
130 and what?
the Expressway. Basically 105th or something, right over there by that Walmart, by the Bishop Ford. That's where the Amazon delivery center is.
Oh,
That's why that shit came so quick.
Like
I'll
right
take-
there. They was,
yeah, good. Yeah. Now I know.
drove a Hellcat.
Now I know,
Right.
and I can complain to
Yeah.
USPS when they fuck my
They
shit
drove
up.
a hell. They drove a Hellcat.
Because sometimes they be
to you.
giving it to them to deliver, and I hate that
No,
shit.
no, don't let the post office.
You can't. You it ain't your choice sometimes.
I'm still waiting on some checks.
But no, I'm literally gonna be
Hellcat.
setting that.
What'd you
up.
get? You get a new system. What you
I
get?
got the Mac Mini M1.
Okay.
Because I'm just pretty much expecting it out to expand my memory.
Okay.
Get my RAM right, and be able to just process a lot more through my system. And then
that Apple-
and just make everything else come. So I got all the accessories I need. I got a new screen that gives me all this fucking.
The knit is right in Adobe
It's like
sRGB.
RBG, yeah, all the shit is together and shit, and
Yeah.
got a little desk set up because just like Diamond said last week, my goal within this year was to not be where I am in terms of my day job by a certain time. So that was. So yeah, I'm just setting all that up. And that's what a lot of these past few months and the end of 2020 has been. So
What type of setup did you have before that M1?
Really just iMac 2013.
Oh, so this shit way faster.
It's gonna be way faster. way faster.
You got a whole
way faster.
You got that
and mind you,
Intel
before that, all I
bullshit.
was doing was just my shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So once I started actually like allowing myself to take commission work, either that being graphic design, little video work, editing somebody else's audio.
Now time is money.
Time is money, all that type of shit. So
need
yeah, I
speed.
needed that more than ever. So I'm stimulated.
Congrats. That's funny. What about you, Neo? What do you have planned for this week?
I plan on finding Jesus's bag from the Cubs and
Going to work.
I know exactly where they smoke methamphetamine. It is on Diversey and Clark, and I'm just gonna set up shop up and down Diversey and up and down Clark, and I'm gonna get rid of them 25 pounds in about 2 weeks to lawyers. Don't worry about it.
It's a hot sale.
Oh yeah, liquidation. Everything must go.
He was like, "You sure you got a little bit more in there?"
I know where to sell some meth, some Europeans. What do I got going on this week? Recovering from that session. I've been in a zone musically. I got a cousin down in Atlanta. We've been supposed to been doing some shit for years, so I just been making shit, sending to him. And then I got Monkey up in Minneapolis, and I'm just sending shit to him, because now that everybody else is going to get vaccinated, it's about time to start going outside.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to look at post-COVID.
Yeah.
And I just want to be properly aligned for post-COVID.
Word.
Because
It's gonna be like the gold rush.
yeah, it's definitely gonna be. And what I want to say is about that though, I think it's gonna be funny when everybody meets everybody again, and we all got our new COVID quirks. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause everybody it's like, hey, I ain't seen you in a while. Yeah, so ever since COVID, I stopped giving a fuck. So you might not know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's a lot. It's months. People it's so much time has passed. So people gonna be different.
Yeah, everybody been locked in the house with their quirks and idiosyncrasies for a while. So like, you think you know a nigga, but I can't wait to see everybody with their COVID quirks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Extroverts that became forced introverts.
Yeah.
Introverts that became even like they fuck a shell. They done came with it's 3 shells now. It's like I'm even deeper.
I
into
done
my
went
shit.
so deep in my introvert
Yeah.
shell that I'm not even a fucking introvert no more.
See what I'm
I'm like,
saying?
I'm ready to go outside.
Look
like,
at that too.
Like, nigga, you see all these. By the way, y'all know I got clothes and shit. You see these cute ass outfits I got on? You hear these dope ass
Look at my
beats?
shoe. Look at my shoe.
You actually know that I know attractive women and shit? Like, look at these baddies that I know. Like, let's take some pictures of this shit. Like, let's live life. So I'm excited about post snow. We post the freeze. We about to be post COVID. I can't wait till it rain a little bit, get some of this dirt out the way. But I'm just preparing.
Yeah.
Just preparing.
I have Black Queer Trivia Night this Thursday, and I'm excited about that. With the foundation I work with, we're doing a Black Queer Trivia Night.
Yeah, I'm waiting
totally
for you to get that.
excited about that. I think that it's gonna be pretty fun, and it should be a great grand time.
Where is it gonna be at?
Like Zoom?
Yeah, Zoom. It's still virtual.
I was
right now.
confused. I'm like, okay. Oh, that's
Not still virtual, but I'm also getting ready for outside. Like I said, getting my outside hair together.
Yeah.
Then got my outside styles together.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I like this.
I know, right? We switching it up. We
Yeah,
changing.
this with the lacy, the sleevey thing.
Yeah,
Whatever.
shouts to my homegirl. Like I'm gonna have an ad on my thing when I post a picture today saying "styled by." Like we switching it up a little bit.
With the style.
Thank God.
Stop it.
Thank God.
I know I was dressing like in a boy lot. I heard it from multiple people, and so.
You definitely did look like you worked with Jesus. Ain't that what I told her?
Months ago.
Yeah, like you look like a motherfucking a mule for the Mexican mafia or some shit. Like, they but now you don't. You look like you date a Mexican mafia member, so you done grew up. You done grew up. There's levels to this shit. You ain't a mule no more.
Outside of that, I'm really excited about some of this other work I'm doing on the contract side.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. And then I think just enjoying outside. Like we talked about COVID quirks, being able to say that my grandma fully vaccinated is fucking amazing, yo, because I've been waiting on that. Also, I'm hitting cycling like crazy. Why? So that I could
be a thought.
Yes. I cannot wait, yo, to sit on it and spit on it.
Oh, like race.
Yeah, like Theodore was like, what? Hey man, all I want to say is before anybody sit and spit, the shit more deadly than COVID. Practice safe sex when you stupid motherfuckers get back outside.
Yes,
STDs is at an all-time high. Use a rubber.
And they about to go even crazier.
Use a rubber. Motherfucker, because people walking around with masks and shit, you scared to cough on the motherfucker, but you gonna stick your raw dick in? No.
Do you think we're gonna have a baby boom after?
For sure.
For sure.
We're gonna have another baby boom.
I had a meeting last Tuesday. This girl told me all her
you had a
best
sex
friends-
meeting?
No, a meeting.
A meeting in my bedroom.
Yo, I thought he was talking about a sex meeting too. I was about to say, yo, this nigga having sex meeting.
Not I say the word meeting, y'all. Y'all put a whole nother phrase in front of it. That's why.
We thought you was having sex meetings.
That's a wild
We don't
concept.
know.
No, I would say I fucked somebody on Monday, and she would tell, I would have phrased it
You
in
fucked
that way.
something, so you had a meeting.
No, I had a meeting. Caught up with a friend.
Oh, that's what we calling it nowadays.
You caught up with a friend.
Anywho, she told me about 3 of her friends who all expecting children within this year because they got pregnant last year.
So she vetting you out to see if you can be a good daddy. You can
Ain't
be a
no
good
vet.
daddy.
Ain't no vet.
Hey, man.
Anybody better get no kids from me no time.
Hey man, Shout out to all these COVID babies and shit.
Yeah. Little panty boomers. Little panty boomers.
About to be World War II. They about to be just like the World War II babies,
Shout
yo.
out, shit, we got the new baby boomers.
We got the new baby
boomers. We
boomers.
got the new boomers. Okay, boomer.
Yeah.
Niggas gonna have like
Panty
6
babies.
kids in the house, man. Happy household, 6 kids. Niggas say what?
That's not a happy house. But you know what? Kids are
I'm
having
talking
a
about a
broke
family
little
that's
best
gonna be
friend.
together. It's gonna be like, yo, what do you mean?
So yeah, I'm glad that you getting ready to fake be a thought.
I'm not gonna fake be a thought. It's real.
She was like, I'm trying.
Hey man,
I'm also writing jokes again. So
That's good.
I'm
That's
getting, I'm
good.
getting ready to go back.
yeah, that's good.
Getting ready to go back on stage.
I
you know?
really do want to just say, people been afraid of COVID. There's another killer, AIDS.
Well, HIV. That's another thing that I have coming up this week. I've been
Don't ever say that. Like, don't put them two together.
Coming up.
no.
Then, bitch, you need a
No,
prep.
I'm
Like,
What a comment.
I'm
Comma.
I'm part of a black black HIV committee where we talk to people who are doing the work and the research, towards HIV, particularly with marginalized communities within the black community. And we have another brown bag lunch this Thursday. So I'm excited about that. That's what I'm saying.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
Also, I'm going to be honest. I think that it is important that while people are afraid of the idea of AIDS and HIV, the reality is the reason that numbers are skyrocketing somewhat are because people become uncomfortable taking the proper wellness and doing the proper checks that they need to do. Like, I want to say I was 28 the first time I got an STD test. 28.
Damn.
And I mean, and now when I go to the doctor, literally they test me every time, but that's partially because I'm a part of this at-risk community.
Right.
So I get tested like every 3 months. Everything. And there's nothing to worry about, but it's also like the reality is I'm also on a drug to prevent HIV called PrEP, which they recommend for a lot of people. And I think that a lot more,
Yeah, I've seen the commercials.
a lot more cishet people need to be considering PrEP as well, because what PrEP does is if you do come in contact with somebody who is HIV positive, then there's a good chance that you won't contract it.
Oh, that's good.
Also, just want to throw this out there. If you do have sex with somebody and you are really concerned that they may have had something that you did not know, or if they did have STD, they did have HIV and you didn't know.
Okay.
You can take you could say
So they got prep and post.
Yeah, you could take PEP. It's called PEP, where you would have to take that within 72 hours. You would have to start
So it's
taking
like
that.
reverb.
Yeah, like Plan B. But you stop at something else.
Yeah. Because, I mean, honestly, I've had to take that multiple times. It's a disgusting pill. It's one that I would not recommend, but, yeah.
You chew it?
No, it's a pill that you swallow. I'm saying it's a disgusting pill. It has multiple different names, but, yes, PEP is
Hey, man.
what it is.
Well,
The safest sex is abstinence, but let's be honest, is it really...
Let's just be clear. CDC has been clear. Hot Girl Summer was hot.
Uh-huh.
Got the highest STD rate in recorded history.
Also, keep in mind, and
Wear
I
a
will say
rubber.
this. I will say this for people, because now I feel like I'm doing a whole PSA about it. There is a drug that is in the third phase of its clinical trials, and instead of taking Truvada, which is the pill I take every day, to make sure that I'm not going to contract it if I do.
Oh, that's
have
the one
sex
I
with
heard about
somebody.
on TV. Them
Yeah.
commercials scared the shit out of me.
There's a drug they're working on that you can be injected once every 6 weeks versus taking a pill every day.
Oh, okay.
Practice
as convenient.
Practice safer sex. That's all I'm gonna say. Practice safer sex. The life you save may be your own.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But that about wraps us up today. Everybody, thanks for watching, for listening. Like, rate, subscribe. Like, rate, subscribe. I'm trying to think. Do I need a funky song to go out with?
I'm trying to figure out what this ghetto ass shit is with this chubby motherfucker.
I heard
right
this.
Oh, that
here.
shit
I heard the
fire
song
though. I
before.
love that shit.
Yeah, the
man.
song alright, but the video is kind of.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think it's really necessary that we go out with an actual top 20
I like the
rapper
video.
of all time. Let's go out with one of his greatest records.
That nigga look like he got diabetes about the ankle. Oh God! God damn it! Fade to black. Fade to fucking black.